If you want to take control of your money and build real wealth, this guide is for you. It's about simple, clear steps you can take every day to improve your financial situation and create lasting freedom. Managing money doesn't have to be confusing or stressful. You don't need to be an expert or have a lot of income to start. What matters most is having the right plan and sticking to it. This guide will walk you through practical actions that anyone can do. You'll learn how to make your money work for you instead of feeling trapped by bills and debt. You will discover how small habits can grow into powerful changes over time. Each idea is easy to understand and designed to fit into your daily life. We will cover everything from making a plan, saving consistently, avoiding wasteful spending, to investing safely for the future. You will see how to build multiple income streams and protect your wealth against surprises. You will also learn how to strengthen your mindset, stay motivated, and keep growing your knowledge. By following these steps, you will develop discipline and confidence. This isn't about quick fixes or luck. It's about building a steady path to financial security and peace of mind. You'll find encouragement to stay on track, even when things get tough. If you're ready to change your financial future, stay with me through this guide. Together, we'll break down what it takes to live well, save wisely, and grow wealth steadily. This is your chance to create a better life with clear choices and daily actions. Let's start building the simple path to wealth and financial freedom. Chapter 1. Build a clear vision for your financial future. Building a clear vision for your financial future begins with knowing exactly what you want your life to look like years from now and making deliberate choices today to move in that direction. Most people keep vague wishes in their minds about wanting more money, retiring early, or living comfortably, but they never take the time to define what those words mean in specific terms. Without a clear vision, decisions become random, opportunities are missed, and it is easy to drift into financial situations you never intended. The first step to creating a strong and secure financial life is to decide in precise detail what that future will be. Start by defining the lifestyle you want. Imagine your ideal daily routine, not in some fantasy setting, but in realistic, achievable terms. Consider where you will live, the kind of home you want, the activities you will enjoy, and the people you want to spend your time with. Decide how much freedom you want in your schedule and what financial resources will be necessary to support that life. The clearer this vision is, the easier it becomes to make decisions about saving, investing, and spending, because you will know exactly what you are working toward. This vision is not only about money, but about the values you want to live by. If freedom matters most, your plan will focus on income sources that allow flexibility. If security is the priority, then building a solid base of guaranteed income and protection will be essential. Once you have an idea of your desired future, the next step is to put numbers to it. This is where most people fall short. They dream of comfort and abundance, but never calculate what it will cost. Estimating the financial requirements of your vision may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if the numbers seem far away from where you are now, but this honesty is necessary. Break down the yearly cost of living in the lifestyle you want, including housing, food, travel, healthcare, and any other personal priorities. Then project these costs into the future, accounting for inflation and changes in your needs as you age. The goal is not to be perfect, but to give yourself a clear target to aim for. With your target in mind, you can now reverse engineer the path to get there. Ask yourself how much you need to save each year, what rate of return is realistic for your investments, and how long it will take to reach your goal. You may find that your current savings habits are far from what is required, and while that realization may be discouraging, it is also empowering because now you can take control. Every financial choice from this point on will be filtered through the question, does this bring me closer to my vision? This mindset turns abstract goals into daily actions, such as choosing to put extra money towards savings instead of making an unplanned purchase. Clarity also demands that you identify the obstacles that could stand in your way. These might include high debt, unstable income, poor spending habits, or lack of financial knowledge. A vision that ignores these realities is nothing more than a fantasy. A strong vision incorporates a plan to address and overcome each challenge. For example, if debt is the main obstacle, then part of your vision must include a structured debt repayment plan before you can allocate larger amounts toward investments. If unstable income is the challenge, your plan must involve building reliable income streams or setting aside a larger emergency fund to buffer against lean months. Another important element of building a vision is aligning it with your personal values so that it remains motivating over the long term. Many people set financial goals that are based on comparison to others rather than genuine desire. They aim for a bigger house or a luxury car because they see others with them, but these goals often lead to dissatisfaction because they do not reflect the person's true priorities. Take time to examine why you want the financial future you are envisioning. Ask yourself if it will truly make you happier, freer, and more fulfilled, or if it is simply a reaction to external pressure. A vision rooted in your own values will give you the motivation to remain disciplined when progress feels slow. Your vision must also be flexible. Life changes, markets shift, and personal circumstances evolve. What you believe you want today may not be what you truly need 10 years from now. This is why reviewing and updating your vision regularly is essential. Setting aside time once a year to reflect on your financial goals, measure your progress, and make necessary adjustments ensures that your vision remains relevant and achievable. Flexibility does not mean abandoning discipline. It means adapting your path while keeping the ultimate destination in sight. To make your vision practical, break it down into short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. Short-term goals might include saving a certain amount in the next 6 months, paying off a specific debt, or learning a new financial skill. Mid-term goals could involve reaching a certain net worth, purchasing a property, or building a passive income stream. Long-term goals are the major milestones such as reaching full financial independence, funding a comfortable retirement, or leaving a financial legacy for your family. Having goals at different stages creates constant motivation because you will see progress more frequently. Accountability is another powerful tool in turning your vision into reality. Share your goals with a trusted friend, mentor, or financial advisor who can encourage you, track your progress, and help you stay on course. When your goals are private, it is easier to let them fade away. Accountability creates a sense of responsibility that pushes you to act even when motivation is low. In addition, surrounding yourself with people who share similar values and goals will reinforce your vision. Conversations with them will spark new ideas, inspire discipline, and remind you why your vision matters. To strengthen your vision further, create a visual representation of it. This could be a written statement that clearly describes your desired financial future, or a detailed chart showing your goals and timelines. You might also use visual tools like graphs to track your net worth growth or savings rate over time. These visuals serve as constant reminders of what you are working toward and help you stay focused during challenging moments. Keeping these reminders in visible places, such as your desk, phone background, or journal, turns your vision into a daily presence in your life. Daily habits are the foundation on which your vision will be built. Even the clearest and most inspiring financial plan will fail without consistent action. This is why developing disciplined habits is essential. These include tracking every expense, reviewing your budget weekly, saving automatically, and continuing to educate yourself about personal finance. Over time, these actions become second nature, and progress toward your vision accelerates. Habits also remove the need for constant decision-making because the choices that align with your vision become automatic. In building your vision, patience is critical. True financial freedom does not happen overnight, and there will be moments when progress feels painfully slow. Impatience often leads to risky decisions, such as chasing unrealistic returns or abandoning a savings plan for quick rewards. Maintaining focus on your long-term vision allows you to stay steady through temporary setbacks. Remember that slow progress in the right direction is far better than rapid movement toward an undefined or unstable future. Self-awareness is also necessary in shaping your vision. Understand your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to money. If you tend to overspend when stressed, factor this into your plan by creating safeguards such as a separate account for discretionary spending or avoiding situations that trigger impulse purchases. If you are strong in certain areas, such as negotiation or finding new income opportunities, use these strengths to accelerate your journey. Your vision should not be a copy of someone else's, but a reflection of who you are and how you work best. Part of a strong vision is anticipating not only what you want, but also what you want to avoid. Many people focus solely on the positive aspects of their goals, but fail to consider the scenarios they want to prevent, such as financial dependence, unmanageable debt, or working beyond the age they desire. Being clear about what you do not want creates additional motivation to stay disciplined, because every poor financial choice will be seen as a step toward those undesired outcomes. Consistency will determine the strength of your vision over time. This means showing up every day with actions that move you closer to your goal, even when those actions feel small or insignificant. A single day's savings or a minor investment decision may seem unimportant in isolation, but over months and years, these small actions compound into meaningful results. Consistency also builds confidence, as each completed action proves to you that you are capable of staying committed to your vision. To measure your progress effectively, set clear benchmarks. These could include reaching a certain savings percentage, increasing your net worth by a specific amount, or achieving a milestone like becoming debt-free. Regularly measuring progress gives you a sense of accomplishment and helps identify areas that need more attention. Without measurement, it is easy to lose track of whether your daily actions are truly moving you forward. Finally, a vision for your financial future should inspire you, not burden you. If your goals feel overwhelming, break them down into smaller steps and focus on the next action you can take today. Financial freedom is the result of steady, intentional choices made over years, and your vision should serve as a source of motivation, not stress. The purpose of having a clear vision is to give your efforts meaning, to turn financial planning from a vague concept into a tangible path, and to ensure that when you look back years from now, you can say you built the life you truly wanted. A clear financial vision is not a luxury. It is the foundation for lasting security, independence, and peace of mind. Without it, financial decisions are made blindly, and the chances of reaching the life you desire are left to chance. With it, every decision, no matter how small, becomes part of a larger purpose. The sooner you define that vision, commit to it, and take daily actions to support it, the sooner you move from hoping for a better future to creating it with certainty and control. Chapter 2. Create a step-by-step money management plan. A step-by-step money management plan begins with gaining control over where your money is coming from and where it is going. Without a structured plan, it is easy to feel as though money disappears without knowing exactly why. The first action is to clearly list every source of income you have, whether it is your salary, business earnings, freelance work, rental income, or any other source. This full picture allows you to work from accurate numbers rather than assumptions. Once your income is defined, the next focus is on listing every single expense you face in a month. This means fixed costs like rent or mortgage payments, utilities and insurance, as well as variable costs like groceries, transportation, entertainment, and discretionary purchases. The goal is not yet to cut anything, but to build a complete and honest picture of your financial flow. When you have both lists, the next step is to categorize expenses into needs, wants, and obligations. Needs are the essential expenses you must pay to maintain your life and work, such as housing, food, and utilities. Wants are the things that make life more enjoyable, but are not necessary, like dining out or new gadgets. Obligations include loan payments, subscriptions, and any recurring commitments you cannot immediately remove. This categorization helps you see where adjustments can be made and which areas should be prioritized. By putting your spending under a microscope, you remove the uncertainty and start to make deliberate decisions rather than reacting in the moment. Once you have your categories, assign specific amounts to each. This is the creation of your working budget. Allocate a fixed amount to needs, a reasonable but limited amount to wants, and ensure obligations are covered without putting your income under strain. A good money management plan assigns percentages rather than random amounts, because percentages keep your spending proportional even if your income changes. For example, you might set 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. These numbers can be adjusted to suit your priorities, but they must add up to 100% so that every dollar is accounted for. The next part of the plan is setting up an automatic system for savings and debt payments. If you wait until the end of the month to save what is left, you will often find nothing remain. By setting up automatic transfers to your savings account and scheduling extra payments toward debt immediately after receiving income, you treat these actions as non-negotiable expenses. This removes the temptation to use the money elsewhere. Automation is a simple but powerful step in maintaining consistency without relying on willpower alone. After automating the essentials, focus on creating a system for tracking your spending in real time. Whether you use an app, a spreadsheet, or a notebook, tracking allows you to see patterns and make adjustments quickly rather than being surprised at the end of the month. It also creates a sense of accountability. You are less likely to make impulsive purchases when you know they will appear in your record that day. Over time, tracking becomes second nature and provides valuable insight into how small changes in your habits can free up significant amounts of money. Your plan should also include regular financial reviews. Set a specific day each week to check your income, expenses, and savings progress. A weekly review prevents small problems from becoming large ones and keeps you aware of your progress toward your goals. During these reviews, ask yourself if your spending reflects your priorities. If you notice money flowing toward low-value purchases while your goals remain underfunded, adjust immediately. Consistent reviews create a sense of control and reduce stress because you always know where you stand. Another important element of a money management plan is creating specific sinking funds for future expenses. A sinking fund is a separate pool of money you build over time for a known upcoming cost, such as annual insurance premiums, holiday travel, or car maintenance. By setting aside a small amount regularly, you avoid large, sudden expenses that disrupt your budget. This method turns predictable costs into manageable monthly contributions and protects your primary savings from being drained unexpectedly. Your plan should also address debt strategically. List every debt you owe, the balance, interest rate, and minimum payment for each. Choose a repayment strategy that works best for you, either focusing on the highest interest rate first to save more money in the long run, or starting with the smallest balance to build momentum quickly. Make this repayment strategy a non-negotiable part of your monthly plan until every debt is cleared. As you pay off each debt, redirect that freed-up money into savings and investments rather than allowing it to disappear into increased spending. It is equally important to include protection in your plan. This means having insurance coverage that matches your needs and ensures a single event does not destroy years of financial progress. It also means building an emergency fund that covers at least 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. The emergency fund acts as a financial buffer, allowing you to handle unexpected challenges without resorting to high-interest debt. This level of preparation is what turns a budget into a true money management plan. It accounts not only for current needs, but for potential disruptions. Your plan must also adapt over time. As your income grows, costs change or goals evolve. Update the allocations and priorities. The most effective money management plan is not a rigid document, but a living system that grows with you. This adaptability keeps the plan relevant and prevents it from becoming an outdated set of rules that no longer fit your life. An often overlooked step in money management is setting clear financial goals that are tied directly to your plan. These goals should be measurable, realistic, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying you want to save more money, decide that you will save a specific amount within the next 6 months. Attach these goals to your budget so that each category in your plan moves you toward them. Every time you review your finances, measure your progress toward these goals and adjust your spending and saving accordingly. Another layer of strength in your plan comes from separating accounts for different purposes. Having distinct accounts for daily spending, emergency savings, long-term investments, and specific sinking funds keeps money organized and reduces the risk of overspending. It is much harder to accidentally dip into your savings when it is in a separate account that you rarely touch. This separation also provides clarity. You always know how much is truly available for discretionary use versus what is reserved for important future needs. Your plan should also address the psychological side of money. Recognize that spending often involves emotion as much as logic. Identify your personal spending triggers, whether it is stress, boredom, or social pressure, and create safeguards to prevent them from derailing your plan. This could mean avoiding certain environments, limiting exposure to marketing, or creating a waiting period before making non-essential purchases. These safeguards protect your plan from the influence of impulse decisions that undermine long-term progress. To reinforce discipline, include rewards in your plan for hitting specific milestones. These rewards should be meaningful but controlled, such as a small purchase or experience that fits within your budget. This not only keeps motivation high, but also proves that a money management plan is not about deprivation. It is about aligning your spending with what matters most. Finally, commit to financial education as an ongoing part of your plan. A step-by-step money management plan is strongest when supported by growing knowledge. Set aside time each month to learn about budgeting strategies, investment options, and ways to increase income. Apply what you learn directly to your plan so that it evolves with your understanding. Over time, this knowledge becomes a powerful tool that helps you make better decisions, avoid costly mistakes, and take advantage of opportunities. A well-structured money management plan does more than organize your finances. It gives you control, reduces stress, and creates a clear path toward your financial goals. When you follow it consistently, review it regularly, and adapt it as your life changes, it becomes a foundation for long-term security and freedom. Every step in the plan serves a purpose, from tracking expenses to building buffers against emergencies. By committing fully to each stage, you transform your financial life from unpredictable and reactive to intentional and forward-moving. This level of control is not achieved overnight, but with steady action and discipline, it becomes the standard by which you live. Chapter 3. Eliminate all unnecessary expenses from your lifestyle. Removing unnecessary expenses from your life starts with the awareness that every dollar you spend either serves a purpose or takes you further away from the financial future you want. Many people assume that cutting expenses means giving up comfort or living a restricted life, but the truth is that most unnecessary costs do not add real value to daily living. They often slip into your routine unnoticed, becoming a habit you stop questioning. The first step is to bring every expense into focus, looking at it not with guilt or judgment, but with an honest question: does this improve my life in a way that is worth its cost? To do this effectively, track your spending over the past 3 months and examine each payment with fresh eyes. Patterns will begin to appear. You might find small repeated charges for subscriptions you rarely use, fees for services that could be avoided, or casual purchases that seemed harmless in the moment but add up significantly over time. These are the silent drains on your financial progress. Once you see them clearly, you can decide which ones to remove without feeling deprived, because you will know they add little or no lasting value. The next step is to separate the truly important expenses from the ones that are only habits. For example, you may realize that paying for a premium cable package is unnecessary if you watch only a few specific shows that can be found through cheaper alternatives. Dining out regularly might feel convenient, but when you compare the cost to preparing meals at home, the difference can be striking. Even small daily purchases like coffee from a cafe or snacks from a vending machine can cost hundreds of dollars over the course of a year. By identifying these patterns, you can start replacing costly habits with less expensive but equally satisfying options. Eliminating waste also means questioning whether you are paying for convenience that you could easily create yourself. Delivery fees, expedited shipping charges, or services that handle simple tasks for you might seem minor individually, but they often form a constant leak in your finances. Preparing meals ahead of time, planning errands efficiently, and organizing your schedule can remove the need for many of these expenses. By taking ownership of these areas, you save money without losing quality of life. One powerful approach is to set a challenge for yourself to reduce or completely cut one unnecessary expense each week. This creates a gradual adjustment instead of a sudden, overwhelming change. For example, one week you might cancel a subscription you forgot about, the next you might start bringing your own lunch to work, and the following week you could switch to a more affordable phone plan. These small steps add up quickly and create a lasting habit of questioning whether each purchase is essential. It is also worth examining your relationship with impulse spending. Many unnecessary expenses come from purchases made without planning. Things bought because they were on sale, looked appealing, or promised instant gratification. By introducing a mandatory waiting period before making non-essential purchases, you give yourself time to consider whether the item is truly needed. This simple rule often leads to the realization that the desire fades quickly and you keep your money for things that matter more. Clutter in your physical space often reflects clutter in your finances. The more items you own that you do not use, the more you have evidence of unnecessary spending in the past. Clearing out these unused items serves two purposes. It reminds you of the cost of unplanned purchases, and it may allow you to recover some value by selling them. The process of decluttering also changes your mindset. You become more selective about what you bring into your life, because you know the time, money, and space each item requires. Unnecessary expenses can also hide in fixed bills that seem unavoidable. Insurance premiums, utility costs, and service contracts often have room for reduction if you take the time to renegotiate or switch providers. Comparing rates, asking for discounts, and removing features you do not use can save significant amounts each month. This type of expense reduction is especially valuable because it does not rely on willpower. It becomes a permanent change that benefits you every month going forward. Social spending can be another source of hidden waste. It is easy to spend more than planned when going out with friends or attending events, especially if you feel pressure to keep up with the group. Finding lower-cost ways to spend time together, such as hosting a gathering at home, exploring free community activities, or choosing less expensive restaurants, can preserve your social life while keeping your budget intact. Having open conversations about your financial priorities with those close to you can also reduce this pressure and encourage mutual support. Marketing and advertising are designed to convince you that you need more than you actually do. Being aware of this influence helps you resist unnecessary spending. Avoid browsing online stores without a specific purpose. Unsubscribe from promotional emails and limit exposure to advertising when possible. By creating distance between yourself and constant marketing, you reduce the temptation to spend on things that do not serve your long-term goals. Replacing expensive activities with free or low-cost alternatives is another effective way to eliminate unnecessary expenses without feeling restricted. Libraries offer books, movies, and sometimes classes at no cost. Parks provide space for exercise, relaxation, and socializing. Online platforms host free educational resources, entertainment, and skill-building opportunities. When you view the value of these options, the appeal of costly alternatives often fades. Reviewing your expenses regularly is essential for maintaining progress. It is not enough to cut unnecessary costs once you must ensure they do not return. Schedule a monthly review of your spending to identify any creeping habits or new expenses that do not align with your priorities. This regular check keeps you in control and prevents small leaks from turning into major setbacks. Mindset plays a major role in reducing unnecessary expenses. If you see cutting costs as deprivation, you will resist it and eventually return to old habits. Instead, view each eliminated expense as a choice to direct your money towards something that matters more to you. This shift turns the process into one of empowerment rather than restriction. You are not simply saying no to spending, you are saying yes to your future goals. Practicality should guide every decision. When considering whether to keep an expense, ask yourself how often you use it, whether it improves your life, and if there is a cheaper alternative that meets the same need. This process removes emotion from the decision and focuses on value. Over time, it becomes a natural part of your thinking. You stop justifying expenses simply because you are used to them and instead evaluate them based on their true worth. Technology can be a useful ally in this process. Many apps can track spending automatically, highlight unusual charges, and show trends in your habits. Using these tools helps you make informed decisions and provides immediate feedback when you make changes. The clarity they offer can be a strong motivator to continue eliminating waste. Eliminating unnecessary expenses also frees mental space. The fewer bills and payments you have to manage, the simpler your financial life becomes. This simplicity reduces stress, saves time, and makes it easier to focus on the things that genuinely matter. A streamlined lifestyle often brings a greater sense of control and satisfaction than constant consumption ever could. As you reduce these costs, direct the freed-up money towards savings, debt repayment, or investments. This ensures that the benefits of cutting expenses translate into meaningful progress rather than disappearing into other unplanned spending. Watching your savings grow or your debt shrink provides tangible evidence that your choices are making a difference. Over time, this practice builds lasting discipline. You become skilled at spotting waste before it takes hold, and you make spending decisions based on clear priorities rather than impulse or habit. The ability to eliminate what is unnecessary and focus on what truly matters is one of the most powerful tools for achieving financial stability and freedom. By removing expenses that do not serve your life, you create room for the things that do, and in doing so you move closer to the future you want with every choice you make. Chapter 4. Save a fixed percentage of income every month. Committing to save a fixed percentage of your income each month is one of the most reliable ways to build lasting financial stability and freedom. This habit removes uncertainty from the saving process because you decide in advance that a set portion of every dollar you earn will go toward your future rather than leaving it up to what is left after spending. By making this commitment, you turn saving from an occasional act into a consistent system that operates month after month regardless of circumstances. The first step is to decide on a percentage that is realistic for your current income and expenses, but still challenges you to prioritize saving. For some, this may start as low as 5%, while others may be able to begin with 20% or more. The exact number matters less than your ability to stick to it without interruption. What matters most is that the percentage becomes a non-negotiable part of your budget, just like rent, utilities, or groceries. This ensures that savings are treated as essential rather than optional. Once you choose your percentage, set up an automatic transfer to a savings or investment account as soon as your income arrives. This step is critical because it removes the temptation to spend first and save later. When the transfer happens automatically, you never see the money as available for spending, and it becomes much easier to maintain consistency. Over time, you will adapt to living on the remaining amount without feeling deprived because your spending will naturally adjust to the new level. To strengthen the habit, track your savings growth each month. Watching your account balance rise provides motivation and reinforces the connection between your daily discipline and long-term results. Even if the growth seems slow at first, remember that consistency compounds over time. The amounts you save in the early months will start earning returns, and those returns will themselves generate more growth, creating a powerful snowball effect. It is important to separate these savings from your regular spending accounts to avoid accidental use. Keeping the money in a different account or financial institution creates a barrier that makes it less likely you will withdraw funds for non-emergencies. If your goal is long-term growth, consider placing the savings in an account or investment that offers both security and the potential for returns, such as a high-yield savings account, index fund, or retirement plan. As your income increases, commit to raising the percentage you save rather than letting your lifestyle expand to absorb all the extra money. This strategy, known as saving your raises, accelerates your progress without requiring any reduction in your current standard of living. By increasing your savings rate with every income boost, you take full advantage of growth opportunities without falling into the trap of lifestyle inflation. For many people, the challenge is not deciding to save, but resisting the urge to reduce or skip contributions during months when expenses feel higher than usual. This is why making the percentage fixed is so powerful. It forces you to adapt your spending instead of cutting into your savings. In months when money feels tight, focus on adjusting discretionary expenses rather than touching your set savings amount. Over time, this discipline becomes second nature, and you will find creative ways to maintain the habit without compromising your essential needs. It is also valuable to have a clear purpose for your savings, knowing exactly what you are building toward: a home purchase, a business venture, financial independence, or retirement gives meaning to the effort. A defined goal transforms the act of saving from an abstract discipline into a personal mission. When you are tempted to spend the money on something unnecessary, the vision of your future goal helps you stay committed. Tracking your progress against these goals can be both motivating and clarifying. Break your long-term target into smaller milestones and celebrate each time you reach one. These smaller victories make the journey feel achievable and help you maintain momentum even when the final goal is years away. Another way to strengthen this habit is to review your finances quarterly to see if your savings percentage can be increased. Even small adjustments, such as moving from 10% to 12%, can make a significant difference over decades. This regular review ensures that your savings rate grows in line with your financial capacity and prevents you from settling into a rate that is too comfortable to create meaningful progress. If you find it challenging to maintain your fixed savings percentage due to unpredictable income, create a baseline amount that you save no matter what, and then add extra savings during months of higher earnings. This protects your consistency while still allowing you to take advantage of good months to accelerate growth. The key is to ensure that even in low-income months, you never skip saving entirely, as this keeps the habit unbroken. Avoid the mindset that saving is something you will start once your income is higher. Waiting for perfect conditions often means never starting at all. Even saving a small percentage now is more powerful than saving a larger amount later, because it establishes the habit and gives your money more time to grow. The discipline you build by starting early will make it much easier to save larger amounts when your income does increase. It is equally important to make sure your savings are working for you. Leaving your money in an account with little or no interest limits your progress. Research safe and reliable options that align with your risk tolerance and time horizon so that your savings grow beyond the contributions you make. This step can greatly accelerate your path toward financial independence. Stay mindful of the temptation to dip into your savings for non-essential purchases. Creating a clear separation between your savings and emergency funds helps with this. Your emergency fund is for genuine unexpected expenses, while your fixed percentage savings are for long-term goals. Protecting this boundary ensures that the progress you make is not undone by short-term decisions. You may also benefit from visual reminders of your commitment. Keep a chart, digital tracker, or even a simple note where you can see your savings percentage and your progress toward your goal. This constant visual reinforcement keeps the habit at the front of your mind and makes it less likely you will stray from it. Over time, saving a fixed percentage each month becomes less about the money itself and more about the discipline and self-control it represents. It teaches you to prioritize your future over temporary desires and to live intentionally rather than reactively. This habit gives you a sense of control over your financial destiny and reduces anxiety about the future because you know you are steadily building a safety net and opportunities for yourself. When combined with other sound financial habits such as managing expenses, avoiding debt, and increasing income, this one practice can form the foundation of a secure and abundant life. Every month you follow through reinforces your belief in your ability to create the future you want. By committing to a fixed savings percentage, protecting it, and letting it grow, you give yourself the gift of financial stability, freedom, and the confidence that comes from knowing you are in control of your path forward. Chapter 5. Develop a disciplined habit of tracking daily spending. Tracking your daily spending with discipline is one of the most powerful habits you can build for financial clarity and control. It forces you to face the reality of where your money goes, rather than guessing or assuming. Many people feel they understand their spending patterns until they start recording every purchase and realize how much of their income disappears through small, unnoticed transactions. This awareness is the foundation for making better decisions, preventing waste, and aligning your spending with your real priorities. The first step is to commit to recording every expense, no matter how small. Whether it is a major bill or a quick snack, every outflow must be documented. This habit is not about judgment or guilt. It is about understanding. Without a complete picture, you cannot make informed choices about what to change or keep. Skipping even minor expenses weakens the accuracy of your tracking and can create a false sense of control, so be thorough from day one. Choosing your tracking method is essential. You can use a notebook, a spreadsheet, or a budgeting app, depending on what you find easiest to maintain. The best method is the one you will actually use consistently. Some prefer the simplicity of writing things down by hand, while others enjoy the convenience and automation of digital tools. Whatever you choose, make it accessible at all times so you can log expenses immediately rather than relying on memory. Consistency is the backbone of this habit. Set aside a specific time each day to review and record your spending. It could be in the morning with your coffee, or at night before bed. By linking the habit to a regular routine, you reduce the chance of forgetting or postponing it. Over time, this discipline becomes second nature, and you will find yourself entering expenses automatically without needing reminders. One of the most valuable benefits of daily tracking is the insight it gives into patterns you may not have noticed. For example, you might see that a certain category, like dining out or subscription services, consistently consumes a larger portion of your income than you expected. These patterns give you concrete data to work with when deciding where to cut back, redirect funds, or make improvements. Without daily tracking, these trends remain invisible, and you may continue overspending without realizing it. It is important to approach this process with honesty and openness. If you hide certain purchases from your records because they make you uncomfortable, you only hurt your own progress. Remember that the purpose of tracking is not to shame yourself, but to give yourself the information you need to create the financial life you want. Facing uncomfortable truths about your spending is a sign of strength and maturity, not weakness. As you track your daily expenses, categorize them in a way that makes sense for your goals. Common categories include housing, food, transportation, entertainment, savings, and debt payments. Breaking your spending into categories allows you to see exactly where your money is going and compare it against the budget you set for each area. This makes it much easier to identify areas for improvement and celebrate areas where you are doing well. Daily tracking also increases your awareness in the moment of purchase. When you know you will have to write something down, you start thinking twice about whether you really want or need it. This simple pause often prevents unnecessary spending and helps you stay aligned with your financial goals. Over time, you develop a natural ability to question your decisions before you commit, which saves you money without feeling like you are depriving yourself. One challenge people face is the temptation to skip tracking on days when they overspend. This is exactly when tracking is most important. Those days hold the most valuable lessons about triggers, habits, and situations that lead to poor financial choices. By recording them honestly, you gain insight into how to prepare better next time. Whether that means adjusting your budget, creating safeguards, or developing new habits to replace costly ones. Another way to make the habit stick is to review your tracked expenses at the end of each week. Weekly reviews help you see short-term trends and make quick adjustments before small issues grow into big ones. For example, if you notice halfway through the month that you are already close to your dining out budget, you can immediately decide to cook at home more often rather than waiting until the month is over and realizing you have overspent. Pairing daily tracking with specific spending goals can make it even more powerful. If you aim to reduce spending in a certain category, your tracking data becomes proof of progress and keeps you accountable. It is motivating to look back after a few weeks and see measurable improvement, knowing that your consistent effort is paying off. Technology can make this process easier. Budgeting apps can link to your bank account and credit cards to automatically record transactions, which reduces the chance of missing anything. Even if you use automation, it is still wise to review your expenses manually each day, so you remain actively engaged with your spending decisions. Relying too heavily on automation can lead to disengagement, which weakens the benefits of the habit. A disciplined approach to tracking daily spending also strengthens your self-control in other areas of life. It teaches you to be detail-oriented, consistent, and proactive rather than reactive. These qualities spill over into your work, relationships, and personal development, helping you live more intentionally in general. The discipline you build in this one area can serve as a model for building other productive habits. Over time, tracking becomes less about the mechanics of recording numbers and more about living with awareness. You become deeply in tune with your financial rhythms, knowing when you can comfortably spend and when you need to pull back. This awareness reduces stress because you no longer feel uncertain or anxious about your finances. You know exactly where you stand. The long-term reward of this habit is not just better money management, but a sense of empowerment. You stop feeling like money controls you and start feeling like you control it. This shift in mindset is what allows you to make intentional choices that build the life you truly want. Financial freedom is not about having unlimited money, but about having control over the money you do have, and tracking your spending is a direct path to that control. The key to sustaining this habit for years is to keep it simple. Avoid creating an overly complicated system that becomes a burden to maintain. If it takes too much time or effort, you will eventually abandon it. Focus on clarity, ease, and accuracy, and let the habit evolve naturally as your needs change. The simpler it is, the more likely you are to maintain it for the long haul. Ultimately, developing a disciplined habit of tracking daily spending is about respect. Respect for your time, your effort, and your financial goals. It is a commitment to pay attention to what matters most and to ensure that every dollar you earn is used with intention. By doing this every day without fail, you create a powerful foundation for wealth building, financial security, and peace of mind that will serve you for the rest of your life. Chapter 6. Increase your income by learning valuable new skills. Increasing your income begins with the decision to invest in yourself through the acquisition of valuable skills. In today's economy, the marketplace rewards those who can solve complex problems, adapt to new trends, and offer unique contributions that others cannot easily replace. The most reliable way to expand your earning potential is not to wait for opportunities to come to you, but to actively prepare yourself for higher value roles, projects, and ventures by building capabilities that are in demand. The first step is to identify skills that have both current and future relevance. Industries evolve quickly, and the abilities that generate high income today may not hold the same value tomorrow. Study job market trends, industry reports, and emerging technologies to see where opportunities are growing. Skills in areas like data analysis, digital marketing, software development, financial planning, project management, and communication consistently show strong demand. But within each field, there are niche specialties that can set you apart even further. Once you identify the skills you want to learn, commit to structured and consistent study. The most successful learners treat skill building like a serious project, not a casual hobby. This means setting aside dedicated hours each week, creating a learning plan with specific milestones, and seeking out high-quality resources. Free material can be useful, but in many cases, investing in paid courses, certifications, or coaching accelerates your progress and signals seriousness to potential employers or clients. Practical application is essential. Knowledge without experience is difficult to monetize, so look for ways to use your new skills as you learn them. This could mean volunteering to take on new responsibilities at your current job, offering small freelance services to build a portfolio, or creating personal projects that demonstrate your expertise. The combination of study and real-world application creates both competence and confidence, making you more attractive to opportunities. Networking plays a significant role in translating skills into income. Surround yourself with people who are already succeeding in the areas you want to grow into. Attend industry events, participate in online communities, and connect with mentors who can provide feedback and guidance. Often, the first well-paying opportunity in a new skill area comes from someone you know, not from a job posting. Building relationships while you build skills can shorten the time between learning and earning. Your mindset during this process matters as much as your technical ability. Employers and clients value problem solvers who can adapt quickly, think critically, and communicate effectively. Even highly technical skills are enhanced by soft skills like persuasion, negotiation, leadership, and collaboration. Developing these alongside your primary learning goals makes you far more versatile and capable of commanding higher pay. Another way to maximize the return on your skill development is to think in terms of stacking skills. Instead of relying on one area of expertise, combine complementary abilities to create a unique profile. For example, pairing graphic design with marketing strategy or data analysis with storytelling allows you to offer a package of services that few others can match. This combination effect increases your market value and makes it harder for others to compete directly with you. Persistence is a critical factor in this journey. Many people start learning something new with enthusiasm, but give up when they encounter challenges. Every valuable skill has a learning curve, and the point where most people quit is exactly where you can separate yourself by continuing. Break complex skills into manageable parts, celebrate small wins, and remember that mastery comes from consistent effort over time, not from bursts of inspiration. Leveraging your new skills for income can take different forms depending on your circumstances. You might negotiate a raise or promotion in your current job by demonstrating how your new capabilities add value to the company. You could launch a side business or freelance service that uses your expertise to solve problems for others. You might even transition into a completely new career path where your earning ceiling is significantly higher. The important thing is to actively seek ways to apply your skills in a way that generates measurable financial return. It's also wise to think globally. With remote work and online platforms, you are not limited to earning opportunities in your immediate area. Skills in technology, communication, design, and business can be sold to clients or companies anywhere in the world. By learning how to market yourself online and deliver value remotely, you tap into a much larger market and can often command higher rates than you would locally. Self-promotion is not something to overlook. Having valuable skills is not enough if no one knows you have them. Build a professional online presence through platforms like LinkedIn, personal websites, or portfolios that clearly showcase your abilities, projects, and results. Share content that demonstrates your expertise, such as articles, videos, or case studies. The more visible you are, the more opportunities will find you without you having to chase them constantly. As you progress, continue upgrading your skills. The market doesn't stand still, and neither should you. Regularly assess your abilities against industry standards and identify gaps you can fill. Staying ahead of the curve keeps you relevant and protects your earning power against shifts in demand. Even if you have reached a comfortable income, ongoing learning ensures you remain competitive and able to adapt if your current field changes. It's worth noting that the skills you choose should also align with your natural interests and strengths. While it's possible to learn something purely for its income potential, you are far more likely to persist and excel in areas that you genuinely enjoy. When your learning is fueled by curiosity and passion, the quality of your work improves, and people are willing to pay more for that level of dedication and excellence. Finally, remember that learning valuable skills is an investment with compounding returns. The effort you put in now not only increases your earning potential today, but continues to benefit you for years to come. Each skill you master can open doors to new opportunities, partnerships and ventures that you cannot yet foresee. In this way, skill development is not just a way to increase your income, it is a way to expand the scope of what is possible in your career and your life. If you treat learning as a lifelong practice, you will never be trapped by a single income stream or dependent on one employer. You will have the confidence that no matter what changes happen in the economy, you can adapt, create value, and be paid well for it. That level of independence and security is the true reward for investing in yourself through skills, and it is a foundation for lasting wealth and freedom. Chapter 7. Automate your savings to grow wealth without effort. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to build wealth is to remove the need for constant decision-making by setting up automated savings. Human behavior often gets in the way of good financial intentions. People plan to save, but forget, get distracted, or convince themselves to spend instead. By taking the choice out of your hands and putting the process on autopilot, you ensure that your financial growth happens consistently, even when life gets busy. Automation transforms saving from an occasional act into a reliable system. The process starts by determining exactly how much you want to set aside regularly. This could be a fixed dollar amount or a percentage of your income, depending on your comfort and long-term goals. Once you've decided, you arrange for the transfer to happen automatically. Ideally, as soon as your paycheck arrives. This ensures that your savings are prioritized before you have a chance to spend the money elsewhere. When savings come out first, what's left becomes the amount you naturally learn to live on, making it much easier to avoid overspending. Technology makes this process seamless. Most banks, credit unions, and investment platforms offer free tools to schedule recurring transfers from your checking account to a savings account, money market account, or investment portfolio. Some employers also allow direct deposit into multiple accounts, so a portion of your paycheck can bypass your spending account entirely. You can even set up tiered automation, sending some funds to short-term savings for emergencies and the rest to long-term investment accounts for wealth building. The beauty of automation is that it removes emotion from the equation. You no longer need to wrestle with the decision of whether to save or spend. The transfer happens without you having to think about it, which means your wealth grows in the background of your life. Over time, these regular deposits compound into significant amounts, even if the individual transfers feel small. This is the quiet power of consistent action. It doesn't look impressive at first, but the results accumulate steadily. Automation also protects you from periods of low motivation or discipline. Everyone has days when saving feels less urgent because of other financial pressures or temptations. Without automation, it's easy to let those moments derail progress. With automation, your system works regardless of your mood or willpower. This stability is what allows long-term wealth building to succeed, because it ensures continuity through both good and challenging times. Another advantage is that automating your savings helps you adapt to increases in income without falling victim to lifestyle inflation. When you get a raise or a bonus, you can immediately increase the automated transfer before you even get used to the higher paycheck. This way, your standard of living doesn't expand unnecessarily, and your future self benefits from the additional earnings. People who adopt this habit often find themselves accelerating their wealth growth far faster than they expected. It's important to choose the right destination for your automated savings. If your goal is security and liquidity, A high-yield savings account or money market account ensures your funds are accessible but still earning interest. If your aim is long-term growth, automating contributions into index funds, retirement accounts, or other investment vehicles allows your money to start working for you immediately. The key is to align your automation with the purpose of your savings, so every transfer moves you closer to your goals. Once your system is in place, you can enhance it with occasional reviews to make adjustments. Automation is not a set-it-and-forget-it forever approach. It's more like a well-tuned machine that runs efficiently but benefits from occasional fine-tuning. As your income, expenses, and goals change, you may want to increase the transfer amount, redirect funds to new accounts, or diversify where your automated savings go. A short review every few months ensures the system remains optimized without requiring daily attention. Some people take automation further by pairing it with round-up savings tools, which transfer the spare change from purchases into savings automatically. While these small amounts might seem trivial, they add another layer of effortless contribution to your wealth-building process. Combined with a fixed automated transfer, they help accelerate growth without creating a noticeable impact on your day-to-day spending. Psychologically, automation provides peace of mind. Knowing that your future is being funded without constant intervention reduces stress and frees up mental energy for other priorities. Instead of feeling like you have to constantly fight the urge to spend or remember to save, you can simply enjoy your life while your financial system works quietly in the background. The long-term effect of automated savings is profound. Imagine setting aside a modest amount every month for years without missing a single transfer. Without automation, maintaining that perfect consistency would require extraordinary discipline. With automation, it happens naturally. Over decades, that steady contribution combined with compound growth can create a level of financial stability and independence that would be difficult to achieve through manual effort alone. Automation also supports the concept of paying yourself first, which is a cornerstone of financial success. By arranging for your future self to be funded before you spend on present desires, you send a powerful message about your priorities. This habit builds not only wealth but also self-respect, because you are actively taking care of your own future rather than leaving it to chance. The sooner you put an automated savings plan in place, the greater the results you'll see. Even if you start with a small amount, the consistency matters far more than the size of the initial transfer. Over time, as you grow more confident and financially secure, you can increase the automated amount and watch your wealth accelerate. Many people are surprised at how quickly their savings grow once they stop relying on manual decisions and let automation take over. In the end, automating your savings is about making wealth building inevitable. It's a system that removes obstacles, eliminates procrastination, and ensures that you are always moving toward your goals, whether you're actively thinking about it or not. By putting this mechanism in place, you are not only simplifying your finances, but also securing a future where money is a tool that works for you, rather than something you constantly have to chase. Over years and decades, this one habit can be the difference between financial uncertainty and lasting prosperity. Chapter 8. Invest in simple, low-risk, long-term assets. Building wealth doesn't require you to become an expert in the stock market, chase high-risk opportunities, or constantly react to market swings. A far more reliable approach is to focus on simple, low-risk investments designed to perform steadily over time. These assets are not about getting rich quickly. They are about ensuring that your money grows safely while avoiding the volatility and stress that come with speculative investments. By choosing the right long-term vehicles, you create a foundation that supports financial security without requiring constant management or advanced expertise. The appeal of simple, low-risk investments lies in their predictability. They are built to preserve capital while still providing returns that outpace inflation over the years. This means you are not just keeping your money safe, you are also allowing it to gain value so that its purchasing power remains strong in the future. Many people underestimate the impact of steady growth, but compounded over decades, even modest returns can turn small contributions into substantial sums. One example of such an approach is investing in government bonds or high-quality corporate bonds. These instruments are generally considered safer than equities because they represent debt obligations that must be repaid, often with fixed interest payments. While the returns may not be as dramatic as high-growth stocks, the risk of losing your principal is significantly lower, especially when the issuer is stable and well-rated. Bonds also provide a predictable income stream, which can be reinvested to further boost your portfolio's growth. Another dependable option is low-cost index funds that track large, diversified markets. Unlike individual stock picking, which can be risky and time-consuming, index funds spread your investment across hundreds or even thousands of companies, minimizing the impact of poor performance from any single business. These funds don't aim to beat the market, they simply mirror it, making them an efficient way to participate in overall market growth without the pressure of constant monitoring. The low fees associated with these funds also mean more of your returns stay in your pocket rather than being eaten away by management costs. For those who prefer a tangible asset, real estate in stable locations can serve as a low-risk, long-term investment. This doesn't mean flipping properties or chasing speculative developments, but rather owning well-chosen rental properties or investing through real estate investment trusts, REITs. A carefully selected property can generate consistent rental income while also appreciating over time. In addition, real estate often moves independently of stock market cycles, providing diversification to your investment mix. Certificates of deposit, CDs, and high-yield savings accounts, while offering lower returns than stocks or bonds, can still play a valuable role in a conservative investment strategy. They provide guaranteed returns, no exposure to market risk, and protection under insurance schemes in many countries. These are particularly useful for the portion of your portfolio you cannot afford to lose, or for short to medium-term savings goals where safety takes priority over growth. The key to making low-risk investments effective is to focus on the long term. Short-term fluctuations may occur even in safe assets, but given enough time, the power of compounding works in your favor. By reinvesting dividends, interest payments, and rental income, you allow your returns to generate their own returns, creating a snowball effect that accelerates wealth accumulation. This compounding effect is often underestimated, yet it is the single most important driver of long-term portfolio growth. Patience is essential when pursuing this strategy. The very nature of low-risk assets means they don't deliver spectacular gains overnight. The temptation to chase higher returns elsewhere can be strong, especially when markets are booming and friends or colleagues boast about quick profits. However, those same high-return investments often come with high volatility and the possibility of steep losses. By sticking with a patient, disciplined approach, you avoid the emotional roller coaster of speculative investing and maintain steady progress toward your financial goals. Another advantage of focusing on simple long-term investments is the reduced need for constant decision-making. Complex strategies require ongoing analysis, frequent trades, and a deep understanding of market trends. In contrast, a well-constructed portfolio of low-risk assets can largely be left alone, freeing you from the stress of reacting to every piece of economic news or market movement. This simplicity not only saves time, but also helps you avoid costly mistakes made in the heat of the moment. Diversification remains important, even within a conservative approach. Spreading your investments across different asset types, such as bonds, real estate, and index funds, reduces the impact of underperformance in any one area. The goal is not to have the highest returns every year, but to have a portfolio that weathers all kinds of economic conditions while steadily moving forward. This balance between safety and growth is what allows your wealth to compound without major setbacks. Tax efficiency should also be considered when investing for the long term. Placing income-generating assets in tax-advantage accounts, such as retirement accounts or certain investment vehicles available in your country, allows more of your returns to remain invested. Over decades, the difference in after-tax growth can be substantial. Even simple, low-risk investments benefit greatly from being held in an environment where taxes don't erode your gains each year. For beginners, one of the best ways to get started is by automating contributions into these low-risk assets. Just as automated savings ensure consistency, automated investing removes the risk of forgetting or hesitating to invest. By committing to a fixed schedule, monthly or quarterly, you not only build your portfolio steadily, but also take advantage of dollar-cost averaging, which reduces the impact of short-term price fluctuations. Over time, as your income grows and your financial confidence increases, you can adjust your contributions and perhaps add slightly more aggressive investments to your portfolio, while still keeping the core in safe, long-term assets. This creates a layered approach where the foundation remains stable, but you allow room for potential growth from slightly riskier opportunities without jeopardizing your main wealth-building engine. The real reward of investing in simple, low-risk, long-term assets is peace of mind. You can live your life without the constant distraction of market speculation, knowing that your money is quietly working for you. When economic downturns occur, as they inevitably do, you are less exposed to dramatic losses and better positioned to ride out the storm. This resilience means you can stay invested when others panic, allowing your portfolio to recover and grow while avoiding the costly mistake of selling at the wrong time. Ultimately, the purpose of investing is not to win a game against other investors, it is to secure your own financial future. By choosing investments that are easy to understand, low in volatility, and designed for steady growth, you build a portfolio that supports your goals without unnecessary stress. Over years and decades, the combination of safety, consistency, and compounding can turn disciplined contributions into lasting wealth. It's not the excitement of rapid gains that changes your financial life. It's the quiet, steady progress of well-chosen, low-risk strategy that works every single year. Chapter 9. Pay off all debts to achieve complete financial freedom. Carrying debt can feel like living with a constant weight on your shoulders. No matter how much income you earn or how carefully you budget, that lingering obligation drains both your finances and your mental energy. Achieving complete financial freedom requires eliminating that burden entirely. When you owe nothing to anyone, your income belongs fully to you. Every dollar you earn can be directed toward your goals, your investments, and your dreams, rather than toward servicing interest payments or meeting repayment deadlines. The first step to paying off all debts is acknowledging exactly what you owe and to whom. Many people avoid facing the full picture because it feels overwhelming, but clarity is essential. List every debt you have: credit cards, personal loans, car payments, student loans, and any other obligations, along with their balances, interest rates, and monthly minimums. This exercise can be uncomfortable, but it transforms the idea of "I have debt" into a concrete, solvable challenge. Knowing the numbers means you can design a targeted strategy instead of relying on vague intentions. Once you see the complete picture, prioritize your approach. Some prefer to attack the smallest balances first for quick wins that build momentum. This method, often called the snowball approach, provides psychological boosts each time a debt disappears. Others focus on the highest interest rates first to minimize the total cost of borrowing, a method known as the avalanche strategy. Either can work if you commit fully, but whichever you choose, stick to it with discipline until every account is cleared. Paying off debt often requires temporary sacrifices in lifestyle. It might mean postponing vacations, cutting back on luxury purchases, or finding creative ways to reduce everyday expenses. These adjustments can feel restrictive in the moment, but they are temporary trade-offs for permanent relief. Think of every extra payment as a step toward buying back your future income. The faster you direct resources toward debt repayment, the sooner you remove that obligation and free your finances entirely. Extra income is one of the most powerful tools for debt elimination. Side hustles, freelance work, overtime hours, or even selling unused items can generate cash specifically for repayment. This doesn't mean working yourself into exhaustion indefinitely. It means making a concentrated effort for a period of time to accelerate your progress. Every additional payment reduces your balance and lowers the amount of interest you'll pay in the future. Even small extra contributions, when made consistently, add up faster than you might expect. While paying down debt, it's essential to avoid adding new obligations. Using credit cards for non-essential spending or taking out fresh loans undermines your progress and prolongs the repayment process. One of the best protective measures is to build a small emergency fund, even while you are in repayment mode. This way, unexpected expenses like a car repair or a medical bill don't force you to borrow again. A modest cushion of savings acts as a buffer, allowing you to stay on track without backsliding. Negotiating with creditors can also be a valuable step. Many lenders are willing to reduce interest rates, adjust repayment terms, or even settle for a lower balance if you show commitment to paying. It's not always possible, but making the call or sending a letter costs nothing and can result in significant savings over time. Lower interest means more of your payment goes toward principal rather than being eaten up by finance charges. One challenge in debt repayment is maintaining motivation over the long haul. Large balances can take years to eliminate, and it's easy to lose steam when progress feels slow. Tracking your decreasing balances visually through charts, spreadsheets or apps helps you see the forward movement even when it's gradual. Celebrating milestones, such as reaching 50% paid off or closing a major account, keeps you engaged and reminds you that the effort is working. The psychological benefits of becoming debt-free are as important as the financial ones. Without the constant pull of repayments, you experience a new level of freedom in decision-making. You can change jobs without worrying about whether the new salary will cover your monthly bills. You can take more risks in your career or business ventures because you aren't tied down by fixed obligations. Even your stress levels and relationships often improve when money pressures ease. Once your debts are gone, it's crucial to protect that freedom. This means developing habits that prevent debt from creeping back into your life. Living within your means, keeping a healthy emergency fund, and using credit only as a tool rather than a crutch are all part of this defense. The discipline you build during repayment becomes a lifelong advantage, enabling you to channel your energy into wealth building rather than debt management. Debt freedom also amplifies the effectiveness of every other financial strategy you adopt. When you no longer have to allocate a portion of your income to lenders, you can accelerate savings, invest more aggressively, and reach goals in a fraction of the time. The compounding effect of those investments is even more powerful because they're funded with money that would otherwise have been lost to interest payments. Over the years, this difference can be dramatic, turning what used to be a monthly burden into a source of growth and security. For some, paying off debt also sparks a deeper change in their relationship with money. The experience of systematically eliminating obligations teaches patience, perseverance, and the value of delayed gratification. It often leads to a greater appreciation for stability over impulse purchases. Many people find that once they've broken free from the cycle of borrowing, they have no desire to return to it, even when they have access to easy credit. There's also a sense of pride that comes from knowing you've taken full responsibility for your finances. Debt can sometimes carry feelings of guilt or shame, but repaying it replaces those emotions with confidence. You've proven to yourself that you can set a long-term goal, endure challenges, and see it through to completion. That self-trust carries over into other areas of life, making you more resilient and capable in the face of future challenges. In the end, paying off all debts is not just a financial milestone, it's a personal transformation. It reshapes your future possibilities, strengthens your ability to manage money wisely, and gives you control over how you live and work. The journey may require discipline, sacrifice, and patience, but the reward is a life where your choices are not dictated by past obligations. Instead, you stand on a clean foundation, ready to direct every dollar toward building the life you truly want. Once you've experienced that level of independence, you'll understand that it's one of the most valuable forms of wealth you can ever achieve. Chapter 10. Protect your wealth by having proper insurance coverage. Building wealth is only part of the journey toward financial security. Protecting that wealth is equally important. Without proper safeguards, a single unexpected event can undo years of hard work and discipline. Insurance is one of the most powerful tools available to shield your assets, preserve your income, and ensure that your progress toward financial independence isn't derailed by events you can't control. It acts as a protective wall, absorbing the financial blow from accidents, illnesses, disasters, or liabilities that could otherwise devastate your finances. The first step in protecting your wealth is understanding that insurance is not just an expense, it's a strategic investment in stability. While it's easy to view premiums as money spent, the reality is that insurance buys peace of mind and a guarantee that you won't face catastrophic costs alone. Without it, you're left to rely on your savings, which could be depleted in a matter of weeks, or even days depending on the scale of the event. With proper coverage, your financial plan remains intact even when life takes an unexpected turn. Health insurance is one of the most essential forms of coverage. Medical expenses are a leading cause of financial distress, and without protection, even a single hospitalization can create unmanageable bills. Having a comprehensive health policy ensures that necessary care doesn't push you into debt or force you to choose between treatment and financial survival. Beyond emergencies, good health coverage also promotes preventive care, helping you catch issues early and avoid higher costs later. Equally important is protecting your ability to earn an income. Disability insurance is often overlooked, yet it's one of the most critical types of coverage for anyone who relies on their paycheck. An injury or illness that prevents you from working could instantly halt your cash flow, but your bills will keep arriving. A disability policy replaces a portion of your income, giving you the breathing room to recover without draining your savings or selling assets at a loss. For those who own property, whether it's a home, a business space, or other valuable real estate, property insurance is indispensable. This coverage protects against losses from fire, theft, natural disasters, or accidents that damage your building or belongings. Without it, you might face the double blow of losing your property and having to pay out of pocket to replace or repair it. A well-structured policy ensures that rebuilding is possible without crippling your finances. Liability insurance is another layer of protection that shields you from legal claims, Accidents happen, and if you're found responsible for injury or damage to someone else's property, the costs can be staggering. Lawsuits, settlements, and legal fees can quickly exceed your personal savings. Liability coverage steps in to handle these expenses so you're not forced to liquidate investments or sacrifice your long-term financial security to resolve the matter. Life insurance plays a unique role in protecting the people who depend on you financially. If your income supports a spouse, children, or other family members, your sudden absence could leave them struggling to cover living expenses, debts, or education costs. A well-chosen life insurance policy provides a financial safety net, ensuring that your loved ones are cared for and can maintain stability even after such a loss. This form of protection is not for you, but for those you care about most. In today's world, specialized coverage is becoming more important as new risks emerge. Cybersecurity insurance, for instance, is increasingly relevant for business owners or individuals with significant online assets. Identity theft protection can also help safeguard against the financial chaos that comes from fraudulent activity in your name. Similarly, if you travel frequently, travel insurance can protect against unexpected cancellations, lost luggage, or medical emergencies abroad, preventing disruptions from turning into financial setbacks. One of the most effective strategies for maintaining comprehensive protection is conducting a regular insurance audit. Life changes quickly. New jobs, home purchases, family growth, or changes in income can all affect your coverage needs. Reviewing your policies annually ensures that your protection keeps pace with your circumstances. This process also allows you to compare options, shop for better rates, and eliminate gaps in your coverage before they become costly problems. It's also important to understand the details of your policies, not just their existence. Many people hold coverage without fully grasping what is and isn't included, leading to unpleasant surprises when they try to file a claim. Taking the time to read the fine print, ask questions, and clarify exclusions ensures that you know exactly what support you can expect when you need it. Balancing the cost of premiums with the value of protection is an art in itself. The goal isn't to insure against every possible inconvenience, but to secure protection against events that would be financially devastating. This often means accepting small, manageable risks yourself, while transferring the large, unpredictable ones to an insurer. That balance allows you to keep premiums affordable while still safeguarding your long-term financial well-being. Another often overlooked benefit of proper insurance is the psychological relief it brings. Knowing that you're protected allows you to focus on building wealth, pursuing opportunities, and enjoying life without the constant fear of what-if scenarios. That mental clarity can lead to better decision-making, both financially and personally, because you're not operating from a place of anxiety or vulnerability. For investors, insurance serves as a protective shield for their capital. Without it, a sudden need for large sums could force you to liquidate investments prematurely, missing out on potential growth, or even selling at a loss. By covering major risks with insurance, you give your assets the time they need to grow undisturbed, which strengthens your overall financial position over the years. Ultimately, protecting your wealth with proper insurance coverage is about resilience. No matter how well you plan, life has a way of delivering the unexpected. The difference between those who recover quickly and those who suffer lasting financial damage often comes down to whether they had the foresight to transfer risk. Proper coverage ensures that your progress isn't wiped out by events beyond your control and that you can continue moving forward, even after setbacks. When you think of wealth building, it's natural to focus on growing your assets, increasing your income, and making wise investments. But real financial strength comes from knowing that no matter what happens, your foundation is secure. Insurance doesn't replace the need for savings, investments, or disciplined money habits. It complements them, acting as the safety net that keeps you from falling too far when life challenges you. And in the long run, that security is what allows your wealth to not only survive, but thrive. Chapter 11. Learn to live well below your current income. Living well below your current income is one of the most powerful and underrated principles for building long-term wealth and creating financial security. It's not about deprivation, self-punishment, or living in constant scarcity. It's about mastering the art of aligning your lifestyle with your deepest values rather than your impulse for consumption. In a world where spending often grows to match or exceed income, choosing to live on significantly less than you earn places you in a position of freedom. You gain control over your financial trajectory, accumulate savings at a faster pace, and avoid the constant pressure of needing to maintain a high-income lifestyle just to cover basic expenses. The first step toward living well below your means is developing a clear sense of what enough looks like for you. Without a personal definition of enough, it's easy to get caught in the endless pursuit of upgrades, nicer cars, bigger homes, fancier gadgets, none of which truly improve happiness beyond a certain point. Understanding what you genuinely need and what brings you lasting fulfillment helps you resist the pull of unnecessary expenses that drain resources. Instead of viewing spending as the primary path to satisfaction, you begin to find richness in experiences, relationships, personal growth, and the peace that comes from financial stability. Adopting this mindset often requires breaking free from societal pressure to signal success through consumption. Many people unconsciously tie their self-worth to the outward display of wealth, leading to lifestyle inflation that leaves them vulnerable to financial stress. By choosing to live below your income, you send a quiet but powerful message. Your value is not measured by possessions, but by the freedom, security, and opportunities you can create for yourself and those you care about. This perspective creates an internal stability that no economic downturn, job loss, or market fluctuation can take away. Practical strategies for living well below your means begin with intentional budgeting. This doesn't mean tracking every penny obsessively, but rather setting clear boundaries on what portion of your income is allocated to essential expenses, discretionary spending, and savings. A useful approach is to reverse the common order of money management: save and invest first, then live on what's left. This method forces your lifestyle to naturally adjust to a smaller portion of your income, while your savings and investments grow steadily in the background. Housing is often the largest expense in most budgets, making it a prime area for reducing costs without sacrificing quality of life. Choosing a home that comfortably meets your needs without stretching your finances allows you to keep more of your income for wealth-building purposes. Similarly, transportation costs can be greatly reduced by avoiding unnecessary vehicle upgrades, purchasing reliable used cars instead of new ones, and minimizing debt tied to depreciating assets. These decisions, repeated over years, create a compounding effect on your financial position. Living well below your means also involves making thoughtful decisions about recurring expenses. Subscriptions, memberships, and small habitual purchases often add up to substantial amounts over time. Evaluating whether these costs truly add value to your life and cutting the ones that don't can free up resources for more meaningful uses. This doesn't mean eliminating every luxury or comfort. It means being selective and deliberate about where your money goes. The goal is to spend on what truly matters to you, not on what's marketed to you. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked aspects of this lifestyle is how it creates resilience. When your core living expenses are only a fraction of your income, you can withstand income fluctuations, unexpected bills, or economic downturns without spiraling into crisis. This cushion allows you to take career risks, pursue entrepreneurial ventures, or take time off when needed without jeopardizing your financial health. In this way, living below your means is not just a defensive strategy, it's an offensive one that opens doors to opportunities others might never consider because they're financially overextended. It's also worth noting that living on less than you earn doesn't have to feel like a constant exercise in saying no. In fact, it can be incredibly liberating because you're no longer locked into the exhausting cycle of chasing more income to fund more consumption. Your satisfaction comes from knowing you're building something lasting: security, options, and the ability to make choices based on desire rather than necessity. This creates a kind of quiet wealth, one that isn't always visible but is deeply felt in the form of reduced stress and increased autonomy. Over time, this way of living changes your relationship with money entirely. Instead of being a tool for constant consumption, money becomes a resource for building the life you truly want. The surplus you generate by living below your means can be directed into investments that produce passive income, creating an upward spiral where your money works for you instead of you constantly working for it. This is how modest incomes can turn into substantial wealth over decades, and how financial independence becomes a reachable goal rather than a distant dream. Living well below your income also helps you stay grounded. It shields you from the volatility of trends and the fragility of living paycheck to paycheck. You're less likely to feel pressured by economic shifts, less vulnerable to job instability, and better prepared to handle life's inevitable challenges. Your financial stability becomes a constant, allowing you to focus on growth, relationships, and purpose without the distraction of money worries. For those who adopt this principle early in life, the rewards are exponential. A young person who starts saving and investing a significant portion of their income from the beginning creates a massive head start, but it's never too late to begin. Any reduction in lifestyle costs frees up resources for savings, investment, and debt reduction, setting you on a better path. The discipline you develop also tends to spill over into other areas of life, fostering habits of intentionality, patience, and self-control that contribute to success beyond finances. The beauty of living well below your means is that it's entirely within your control. Unlike market returns, interest rates, or economic policy, your spending decisions are something you can influence every single day. Each purchase becomes a choice to either accelerate your financial freedom or slow it down. Over time, the consistent choice to live on less than you earn becomes second nature, and the benefits become self-reinforcing as you watch your net worth grow and your stress diminish. Ultimately, this principle is about much more than money. It's about creating a life where your resources are aligned with your values, where you are free to pursue what matters most without being chained to financial obligations. It's about trading the fleeting satisfaction of overspending for the enduring security of knowing you're prepared for whatever comes. And in the long run, that choice leads not only to greater wealth, but to a deeper, more sustainable sense of well-being. Chapter 12. Build an emergency fund to secure your peace. An emergency fund is more than just a financial safety net. It is a shield that protects your peace of mind and gives you the confidence to face life's uncertainties without panic. At its core, it's a pool of money set aside specifically for unexpected events that could disrupt your financial stability. This is not money for vacations, gifts, or planned expenses. It is for those moments you cannot foresee: a sudden job loss, urgent medical bills, essential home repairs, or emergency travel to care for a loved one. Without a dedicated fund for such events, people often fall into debt, sell investments at the wrong time, or make financial decisions from a place of desperation rather than strength. Building an emergency fund begins with committing to the idea that life will throw surprises at you, and preparation is the most reliable way to prevent those surprises from turning into crises. Many people believe they'll figure it out when the time comes, but that usually leads to using high-interest credit cards, taking personal loans, or relying on others for help. These short-term fixes often cause long-term problems. An emergency fund removes that vulnerability by giving you instant access to cash without strings attached, allowing you to handle challenges with minimal disruption to your financial plans. The size of an ideal emergency fund depends on your personal circumstances, but a common target is 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. For those with unstable income, such as freelancers or business owners, aiming for a larger cushion closer to 9 or even 12 months provides greater protection. The key is to calculate your bare minimum monthly needs: housing costs, utilities, food, insurance, transportation, and any other essentials required to maintain your basic life operations. This figure becomes your benchmark for how much you need to save. One of the most important qualities of an emergency fund is accessibility. While investing your savings in stocks or other assets may be tempting, the primary purpose of this money is immediate availability. It should be kept in a liquid, low-risk account, such as a high-yield savings account, a money market account, or even a dedicated checking account, where it won't lose value in the short term and can be withdrawn quickly. The trade-off for lower returns is worth it because the fund's role is not to generate wealth, but to preserve stability. Building the fund takes discipline, especially if you're starting from zero. The process is most manageable when broken into stages. Begin by setting a small reachable target, such as $500 or $1,000, which can cover many common emergencies like car repairs or urgent bills. Once that milestone is met, gradually increase the goal until you reach your full target. Treat contributions to your emergency fund as non-negotiable, just like rent or utility payments. Automating transfers from your checking account into a separate savings account each month ensures steady progress without relying on willpower alone. Cutting unnecessary expenses and redirecting that money to your emergency savings accelerates growth. Even modest lifestyle adjustments, like reducing dining out, canceling unused subscriptions, or choosing more economical transportation, can free up funds without significantly affecting your quality of life. Any windfalls, such as tax refunds, bonuses, or monetary gifts, can also be directed toward the fund to make larger leaps toward your goal. Over time, these consistent deposits build a protective wall around your finances. The psychological benefits of having an emergency fund are profound. Knowing that you can weather unexpected storms without borrowing or scrambling provides a deep sense of security. It reduces anxiety about the future, improves your decision-making, and allows you to approach opportunities and challenges with a clear head. When emergencies arise, you can address them quickly and effectively without the added burden of wondering how you'll pay for them. This mental freedom often has ripple effects, improving overall well-being and even relationships, as financial stress is one of the leading causes of tension between partners. An emergency fund also plays a crucial role in protecting your long-term financial strategy. Without one, you may be forced to withdraw from retirement accounts or sell investments at a loss during downturns, which can derail years of progress. By handling short-term crises with cash reserves, you keep your long-term assets untouched and allow them to continue compounding. In this way, the emergency fund acts as a buffer between short-term unpredictability and your long-term goals, ensuring that temporary setbacks don't have permanent consequences. Maintaining the fund is just as important as building it. After using the money for an emergency, make replenishing it a priority before resuming other financial goals. This ensures that you are always prepared for the next unexpected event. It's also wise to periodically review your target amount as your life circumstances change. If your expenses grow, your fund should grow with them. Marriage, children, a new home, or starting a business all increase the potential size of emergencies, requiring a larger safety net. One common temptation is to use the emergency fund for non-urgent expenses, especially if it sits in an easily accessible account. The discipline to only tap into it for genuine emergencies is essential. A good rule of thumb is to ask yourself whether the expense is unexpected, necessary, and urgent. If it fails to meet all three criteria, it's likely not an emergency and should be covered from other parts of your budget. This self-control preserves the fund for its true purpose. It's worth remembering that an emergency fund doesn't just protect against worst-case scenarios, it also creates flexibility and opens opportunities. For example, it can give you the freedom to leave a toxic work environment without rushing into the first available job, take time off to care for family, or pursue further education without destabilizing your finances. In this way, the fund is not just a safety net, it's also a launchpad for making intentional life choices with confidence. People sometimes underestimate how quickly small emergencies can snowball into major financial setbacks. A single medical bill can lead to credit card debt, which then accrues interest, creating a cycle that takes years to escape. A broken appliance might seem minor, but if replacing it forces you to delay rent or mortgage payments, it can set off a chain of consequences. An emergency fund interrupts these cascades before they begin, containing the problem to a manageable size and preventing it from spilling into other areas of your life. Ultimately, the value of an emergency fund lies in the stability it provides. It's a quiet form of financial power, unassuming, not flashy, but deeply effective. You may never know exactly when you'll need it, but when the moment comes, you'll be grateful it's there. It's the difference between facing a challenge with dread and facing it with calm assurance. While building one takes patience and consistency, the peace of mind it delivers is far greater than the effort required. Over time, you'll come to see it not as a burden or sacrifice, but as one of the smartest and most empowering financial choices you can make. Chapter 13. Set clear financial goals with specific target dates. Clarity in financial planning starts with knowing exactly what you want to achieve, and by when. Without a defined destination, it's easy to wander aimlessly, spending money without a guiding purpose. Setting specific financial goals with precise target dates transforms vague wishes into tangible objectives. It gives your money a mission, and it gives you a reason to direct your resources intentionally instead of letting them drift. A goal without a deadline is little more than a dream. The timeline provides urgency, structure, and accountability. When you establish a clear goal, you create a measurable outcome you can track. Rather than saying, "I want to save more," you might commit to saving $15,000 for a home down payment within the next 30 months. This approach forces you to break the goal into actionable steps, calculate how much to set aside monthly, and identify adjustments to your spending that will keep you on track. The target date also helps you gauge progress at regular intervals and make course corrections before it's too late. The process begins with defining what matters most to you financially. Your goals should reflect your personal priorities, not what others think you should aim for. This could include eliminating debt, building a retirement nest egg, funding a child's education, starting a business, or achieving early financial independence. Each objective should be stated clearly and in detail, leaving no room for ambiguity about the amount required, the method for reaching it, and the exact date of completion. Once you've identified the goals, arrange them in order of importance. This hierarchy allows you to focus on the most critical objectives first, and ensures you're not stretching yourself too thin. For example, building an emergency fund might take priority before investing heavily, or paying off high-interest debt might come before saving for a luxury vacation. By ranking your goals, you prevent competing demands from derailing your progress. Breaking large goals into smaller milestones is a powerful way to maintain momentum. If you aim to save $50,000 in 5 years, divide that into annual, quarterly, and monthly targets. Each smaller achievement provides a sense of accomplishment and reinforces your commitment. This method turns an intimidating long-term goal into a series of manageable tasks, reducing the likelihood of procrastination. Timeframes should be realistic yet challenging. If the goal feels too easy, you might not feel motivated to make necessary sacrifices. If it's too ambitious, you may become discouraged and abandon it altogether. The ideal timeline stretches your capabilities while still being achievable with disciplined effort. This balance keeps you engaged while preventing burnout. To stay consistent, pair your financial goals with a tracking system. This could be a spreadsheet, a budgeting app, or even a simple notebook dedicated to your progress. Documenting each deposit, payment, or investment related to your goal not only keeps you organized, but also reinforces your sense of ownership over the outcome. Visible progress is highly motivating, especially when you can see how far you've come compared to where you started. Accountability is another essential element. Sharing your goals with a trusted friend, family member, or financial advisor can provide an extra layer of commitment. When someone else knows your target and timeline, you're more likely to follow through to avoid the discomfort of admitting you've fallen short. Accountability partners can also offer encouragement, advice, and perspective when challenges arise. One often overlooked aspect of setting financial goals is considering potential obstacles. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. A job loss, unexpected expenses, or economic downturns can threaten your timeline. Anticipating these possibilities allows you to create contingency plans, such as an emergency fund, supplemental income streams, or flexible budgeting that keep you moving forward even when conditions aren't ideal. It's equally important to periodically review and adjust your goals. Circumstances change, income levels shift, expenses evolve, and priorities sometimes move in new directions. A goal set 2 years ago might need modification to stay relevant. Regular check-ins, perhaps quarterly or semi-annually, allow you to ensure your targets still align with your life and values. This habit keeps your goals dynamic rather than rigid, increasing the likelihood you'll achieve them. While discipline is crucial, it's also vital to celebrate progress along the way. Reaching a milestone deserves recognition, even if it's a modest reward like a special meal or a small purchase you've been delaying. These moments of celebration reinforce positive behavior and remind you that progress is worth acknowledging, not just the final result. Setting goals with specific dates has a compounding effect on motivation. A distant, undefined aspiration often fails to inspire consistent action. But when you know the exact day you want to reach the finish line, every decision, whether to spend or save, becomes more deliberate. You begin to see the connection between today's choices and tomorrow's outcomes, which is the essence of financial discipline. This approach also fosters better decision-making in moments of temptation. If you're tempted to make an unplanned purchase, recalling that it would push back your debt-free date by 3 months or delay your home purchase by half a year can help you resist. The clarity of the target date acts as a compass, guiding you toward the actions that serve your ultimate purpose. Additionally, specific timelines can help you determine the right financial strategies. Short-term goals might be best served by savings accounts or certificates of deposit, while medium to long-term goals could involve low to moderate risk investments. Knowing exactly when you'll need the funds helps you choose the most suitable vehicles for growth while managing risk appropriately. One of the profound benefits of having dated goals is the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're moving in the right direction. Even if progress is slow, the fact that you have a roadmap means you're no longer drifting. You're actively steering your financial life instead of letting external forces dictate the outcome. This sense of control can be deeply empowering and can reduce the anxiety that often accompanies money management. Ultimately, setting clear financial goals with target dates is about transforming abstract hopes into concrete, actionable plans. It's about putting yourself in the driver's seat and deciding where you want to go, how fast you'll get there, and what path you'll take. Without that clarity, it's far too easy to let years slip by with little to show for your efforts. With it, every step you take is purposeful, every decision has context, and every sacrifice feels meaningful because it's tied to a defined reward. The discipline of defining, prioritizing, tracking, and adjusting your goals creates a cycle of progress that builds momentum over time. The more goals you set and achieve, the more confident you become in your ability to shape your financial future. This confidence then spills over into other areas of life, reinforcing the idea that intentional planning, paired with consistent action, can lead to remarkable outcomes. By anchoring your ambitions to specific dates, you give yourself a structure that transforms possibility into reality. Each day between now and that date becomes an opportunity to move closer, to make a choice that aligns with your vision. In the end, the practice of setting and achieving these goals is not just about the money, it's about building a life of purpose, direction, and intentional success. Chapter 14. Focus on assets that generate consistent passive income. Building long-term financial security often hinges on acquiring assets that can generate income without demanding constant active involvement. This type of income, passive income, works in the background, steadily adding to your wealth, whether you're working, sleeping, or traveling. Unlike a salary that stops the moment you stop working, passive income continues to flow, giving you the flexibility to design your life on your own terms. It's not about doing nothing, it's about setting up systems, investments, and resources that produce returns with minimal ongoing effort. The foundation of passive income lies in choosing assets that are both reliable and sustainable. While many people chase quick gains, consistent cash flow comes from investments that can weather economic ups and downs while still providing returns. Real estate, dividend-paying stocks, bonds, royalties from creative work, or automated online businesses are classic examples. The key is not just to own these assets, but to select them carefully so that they produce income predictably over time. A flashy asset that pays once and fizzles out is less valuable than one that quietly and consistently delivers for decades. When considering which income-generating assets to pursue, it's important to match them with your tolerance for risk and your preferred level of involvement. Real estate might offer attractive rental yields, but it requires due diligence, property management systems, and contingency planning for vacancies or repairs. Dividend stocks can be more hands-off, but require initial research to ensure the companies have a strong history of stable payouts and growth. The best strategy is often a combination, diversifying across different types of assets, so that one income stream can balance out fluctuations in another. The power of passive income is compounded when you reinvest the proceeds instead of spending them immediately. For example, dividends can be used to buy more shares, which increases future dividend payouts, creating a snowball effect. Rental income can be directed toward acquiring additional properties, expanding your portfolio, and multiplying cash flow over time. Each reinvestment strengthens the engine that drives your financial independence, moving you closer to the point where your passive income covers all your living expenses. Setting realistic expectations is crucial. Building passive income is rarely instant. It often requires a significant initial investment, either of money, time, or both, and it can take years for those assets to produce substantial returns. Patience and consistency separate those who succeed from those who abandon the process too early. The first few months or even years may feel slow, but as assets mature and income streams stabilize, the pace accelerates dramatically. Another important factor is ensuring that your passive income sources are resilient to changes in the economy or industry trends. For example, a rental property in a single industry town may be vulnerable if that industry declines. A business reliant on a single online platform could suffer if the platform changes its rules or algorithms. Spreading your investments across different sectors, locations, and types of assets can protect you from such risks. This diversification not only safeguards your income, but also increases your confidence in relying on it for the long term. The beauty of passive income is that it creates freedom. Freedom from relying solely on your labor, freedom from worrying about job loss, and freedom to make choices based on values rather than immediate financial pressure. For many, this means having the flexibility to retire earlier, travel extensively, pursue hobbies, or devote time to causes they care about. The goal is not just to replace your active income, but to exceed it so that your life is designed around abundance rather than limitation. Some forms of passive income require creative effort up front. Writing a book, creating a course, or developing software may take months or years of work, but once complete, they can produce royalties or sales indefinitely. The same applies to licensing intellectual property or designing a product that can be manufactured and sold without your direct involvement. These avenues combine the satisfaction of creating something valuable with the financial rewards of recurring income. One trap to avoid is chasing trends without a clear understanding of the underlying mechanics. Not every so-called passive income opportunity is truly passive. Some require ongoing attention, customer service, or constant adaptation to remain viable. Before committing, assess whether the income will truly continue with minimal effort and whether it aligns with your long-term financial plan. Sustainable passive income comes from assets built on solid fundamentals, not hype. Maintaining passive income streams still involves some level of oversight. Properties need inspections, investments require monitoring, and businesses must be reviewed periodically to ensure profitability. However, the time commitment is significantly lower than that of a full-time job. By setting up systems such as hiring property managers, automating dividend reinvestments, or using software to track sales, you can reduce the time and effort to a manageable level while keeping everything running smoothly. Tax efficiency also plays a role in maximizing your passive income. Different income sources are taxed in different ways, and strategic planning can help you keep more of what you earn. For instance, qualified dividends often receive favorable tax treatment, and certain real estate investments allow for deductions on depreciation, interest, and expenses. Understanding the tax implications of each asset can significantly boost your net returns over time. Technology has expanded the opportunities for generating passive income. Peer-to-peer lending platforms, automated investment services, and e-commerce systems have lowered the barriers to entry for individuals seeking alternative income streams. However, the same rules apply: due diligence, diversification, and a focus on sustainable models are non-negotiable. The easier it is to enter a market, the more crowded it often becomes, so finding a competitive edge is essential. As your passive income grows, it can shift from being a supplement to your primary source of financial support. The transition is gradual but powerful. At first, the income may simply cover small expenses, a utility bill, a subscription, or a weekend getaway. Over time it may cover rent or a mortgage, then groceries, then eventually every necessity. Reaching the point where your basic needs are met by passive income is a milestone that brings profound peace of mind. One of the most rewarding aspects of building passive income is the way it changes your relationship with work. Instead of being trapped in a cycle of earning to survive, you can choose work for fulfillment, passion, or contribution. You're no longer beholden to a paycheck, which opens the door to more creative, meaningful, and flexible career choices. The mindset required to focus on passive income is proactive and long-term oriented. It involves seeing money not just as something to spend, but as a tool to acquire assets that will work for you. Every dollar you direct toward building an income-generating asset is a step toward reclaiming your time and increasing your options in life. The earlier you begin, the more time your investments have to grow and compound, and the more significant the results will be. In the end, the pursuit of consistent passive income is about far more than just making money while you sleep. It's about creating a financial structure that supports the life you want to live, one that is resilient in the face of uncertainty and generous in the opportunities it provides. By carefully selecting, nurturing, and diversifying income-producing assets, you position yourself not only for financial freedom, but for a life rich in choice, stability, and purpose. Once your assets generate enough to sustain you, you have truly shifted from working for money to having money work for you, a transformation that changes everything about how you live. Chapter 15. Review your finances weekly. To stay in control. Taking control of your finances starts with regular, focused attention. Setting aside time each week to review your financial situation is a powerful habit that keeps you connected to your money, aware of your spending, and informed about your progress toward goals. This simple weekly ritual prevents surprises, uncovers opportunities, and builds confidence, allowing you to steer your financial life instead of drifting through it. Without this consistent review, it's easy to lose track of where your money is going, which can lead to stress, missed payments, or decisions that work against your long-term interests. When you dedicate time every week to examine your finances, you create a clear picture of your current status. This includes checking your bank accounts, credit card statements, bills due, and any recent transactions. It's not about micromanaging every dollar, but about understanding patterns, how much you're spending in different categories, where you might be overspending, and how your income compares to your outgo. This awareness forms the foundation for smart financial decisions and timely adjustments. A weekly review also helps identify errors or unauthorized charges early. Banks and credit card companies don't always catch fraudulent activity immediately, and catching suspicious transactions quickly can prevent bigger losses and headaches. This habit protects you from identity theft and costly mistakes, providing peace of mind. Regular check-ins are an opportunity to update your budget and ensure it reflects reality. Budgets are not static. They must evolve as your expenses, income, or goals change. If you notice recurring expenses increasing or your discretionary spending creeping up, you can adjust accordingly. Conversely, if you receive unexpected income or save money by cutting costs, you can decide how best to allocate those funds toward your goals. Tracking your bills and upcoming payments during your weekly session keeps you ahead of deadlines, helping avoid late fees and penalties. This forward-looking approach is more effective than scrambling at the last minute and saves money by preventing unnecessary charges. Setting reminders for recurring payments during this time also strengthens your financial organization. A key benefit of weekly financial reviews is that they make your goals feel more immediate and actionable. Instead of vague ideas floating somewhere in the future, your targets become part of your weekly routine. You can measure progress in small increments, which adds up to significant gains over time. These mini victories reinforce motivation and build momentum, making it easier to stay disciplined and committed. During your review, it's helpful to reflect on your spending habits and consider whether they align with your values and priorities. Are you spending money on things that bring genuine satisfaction and contribute to your long-term vision? Are there expenses that no longer serve you or could be reduced? This reflection helps create intentional spending patterns rather than unconscious habits that may undermine your financial health. When you catch spending that doesn't align with your goals, you have the opportunity to course correct quickly. The weekly rhythm prevents small issues from growing into larger problems that are harder to fix. It also encourages mindfulness around purchases, making you more thoughtful before you spend rather than reacting impulsively. Your weekly finance review is also the ideal time to update your financial trackers or tools. Whether you use a spreadsheet, an app, or paper records, maintaining accurate and up-to-date data is crucial for meaningful insights. This practice ensures that when you look at your finances, you're seeing the full and current picture, which empowers smarter decisions. If you have debts, reviewing your balances and payments weekly keeps your focus sharp and your progress visible. Tracking interest rates, payment due dates, and payoff schedules motivates timely payments and allows you to plan extra payments strategically. Seeing your debt decrease week by week, even in small amounts, can be a powerful source of encouragement. For those investing, weekly reviews provide a chance to glance at portfolio performance and news that may impact your holdings. While long-term investors avoid reacting to every market movement, staying informed helps you make thoughtful adjustments when necessary and ensures your investment strategy remains aligned with your goals and risk tolerance. Developing this habit also promotes better communication if you share finances with a partner. Reviewing your money together weekly encourages transparency, shared responsibility, and collaboration. It can prevent misunderstandings and conflicts by keeping both parties informed and aligned on financial matters. A consistent weekly financial review builds discipline. It trains your mind to value financial health as part of overall well-being. Over time, it becomes a natural part of your routine rather than a chore or source of stress. The more familiar you become with your money, the less intimidating it feels. Confidence replaces anxiety, making it easier to set and achieve ambitious goals. If you ever feel overwhelmed, breaking the review into smaller tasks can help. For example, one day could focus on bank accounts and cash flow, another on bills and debts, and another on investments or long-term goals. This approach keeps each session manageable and reduces the temptation to postpone it. The routine also encourages proactive planning. When you see that a large expense or financial commitment is approaching, you have time to prepare rather than reacting in a scramble. This foresight supports better budgeting, saving, and negotiating skills. Another practical benefit is that you can spot opportunities for improvement more readily. Perhaps you notice a subscription service you no longer use or a recurring fee that can be negotiated or eliminated. Maybe you identify ways to increase your savings rate or spot a spending category where trimming costs would free up more money for investing. Weekly reviews sharpen your financial awareness and empower you to act with purpose. This habit creates a feedback loop that fosters continuous improvement. You learn from your successes and mistakes, refining your approach week after week. This process transforms money management from a passive task into an active, engaging practice that supports your overall growth. Ultimately, taking control of your finances with weekly reviews is about reclaiming your power. Money no longer controls you. Instead, you guide your resources toward what truly matters. This ongoing attention lays a strong foundation for lasting financial security, resilience, and peace of mind. It ensures that you are always in the driver's seat, making informed decisions with confidence rather than reacting to crises or surprises. The consistency of weekly reviews creates a habit that compounds over time. Just as small deposits grow into substantial savings, these moments of focus build financial literacy, discipline, and wisdom. You become more adept at recognizing patterns, anticipating challenges, and seizing opportunities. In this way, the simple act of reviewing your finances weekly can transform your entire financial life, empowering you to create the future you desire with clarity and control. Chapter 16. Avoid impulse buying by creating a purchase waiting list. Impulse buying can quietly sabotage even the best financial plans. The rush of grabbing something new, especially when it seems like a great deal, can feel satisfying in the moment, but often leads to regret later. This behavior interferes with saving goals, adds clutter, and creates unnecessary stress. A powerful tool to counteract this tendency is the creation of a purchase waiting list, a simple yet effective strategy to bring mindfulness and discipline to your spending decisions. By immediately writing down items you want to buy instead of purchasing them on impulse, you create space between desire and action. This pause allows you to evaluate the necessity, value, and timing of each purchase objectively. Often, the initial urge fades when not acted upon instantly, revealing which items are truly important and which are fleeting wants. The waiting list becomes a filter that separates thoughtful spending from careless impulse. Creating this list requires commitment and honesty with yourself. Every time an urge to buy strikes, resist and write it down. Include details such as why you want the item, how much it costs, and how it fits into your overall budget and goals. This practice not only slows spending, but encourages reflection on your priorities and financial discipline. After a set waiting period, commonly 24 to 72 hours, review the list. Ask critical questions. Do I still want this item? Can I afford it without compromising other goals? Is there a better alternative? How will this purchase impact my financial plans? These questions help clarify whether the buy is necessary or just a temporary craving. More often than not, many items will be removed from the list, saving money and reducing clutter. Using a purchase waiting list also encourages better planning. Instead of spontaneous shopping trips, you begin to organize your purchases, timing them according to your budget and needs. This approach prevents overspending and allows you to take advantage of sales or discounts strategically rather than impulsively. The waiting list can be maintained physically in a notebook or digitally using apps or notes on your phone. The key is accessibility and consistency. Having the list handy at all times means you can capture impulses immediately, preventing unplanned spending. Revisiting the list regularly keeps you accountable and connected to your financial intentions. This habit cultivates patience and self-control, traits that extend beyond spending habits into broader financial behavior. When you practice delaying gratification in small ways, you strengthen your ability to make deliberate choices about saving, investing, and budgeting. The waiting list becomes a training ground for long-term financial success. Impulse purchases often thrive on emotional triggers such as stress, boredom, or the desire for instant reward. Recognizing these triggers can help you break the cycle. When tempted, rather than reaching for your wallet, redirect your attention to a healthy alternative like a walk, journaling, or calling a friend. Over time, replacing impulsive reactions with intentional actions rewires your habits. In addition to saving money, avoiding impulse buying reduces the psychological burden of clutter and financial regret. Buying fewer unnecessary items frees up resources and space, allowing you to focus on what truly adds value to your life. This mindset shift transforms spending from consumption to conscious investment in your well-being and goals. Tracking the impact of using a purchase waiting list can be motivating. You can tally the money saved by postponing or canceling impulse buys and redirect those funds towards savings or debt repayment. This tangible proof of progress reinforces the habit and builds momentum for continued financial discipline. In moments when you decide to purchase something from your list, approach it with gratitude and confidence. Knowing you've made a thoughtful decision empowers you to enjoy the item fully without guilt or second-guessing. This clarity strengthens your relationship with money and fosters a healthy spending mindset. The waiting list also provides an opportunity to reframe your relationship with consumption. Instead of feeling deprived or restricted, you gain control and freedom by choosing how and when to spend. This empowered stance transforms financial management from a source of stress into a practice of self-respect and intentional living. Avoiding impulse buying by maintaining a purchase waiting list is a straightforward but powerful step toward financial mindfulness. It interrupts automatic behaviors that drain your resources and replaces them with conscious, goal-oriented decisions. Over time, this habit creates a foundation of patience, clarity, and control that supports lasting financial well-being. Integrating this strategy with other financial practices, such as budgeting, tracking expenses, and goal setting, creates a comprehensive system for managing money wisely. Each element reinforces the others, creating synergy that accelerates progress and reduces setbacks. Ultimately, the purchase waiting list is more than a tool, it's a mindset shift. It encourages you to value your money as a tool for achieving meaningful goals rather than a means to fleeting pleasure. By practicing restraint and reflection, you build a healthier, more sustainable approach to money that serves you well across all stages of life. The daily discipline of recording and reviewing potential purchases may seem small, but its impact compounds over time. This habit helps prevent common pitfalls that derail financial plans and replaces them with intentional actions that build security and freedom. The patience and insight gained through this process empower you to make choices aligned with your highest priorities and long-term vision. In the end, resisting impulse buys through a purchase waiting list transforms your financial habits. It creates a steady rhythm of mindful spending and saving that leads to greater peace of mind and stronger financial health. This simple practice brings you closer to the life you want to live by putting control firmly back in your hands. Chapter 17. Strengthen your mindset with daily financial education. Building a strong mindset around money begins with a daily commitment to learning. Financial education is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey. Each day offers an opportunity to absorb new knowledge that sharpens your understanding and empowers you to make wiser decisions. This steady growth transforms how you view money, your relationship with it, and how you handle financial challenges. Approaching this education with discipline and consistency creates a foundation of confidence that supports every aspect of your financial life. Making financial education a daily habit does not mean overwhelming yourself with complex theories or lengthy books. It can start with small, manageable steps, such as reading a short article, listening to a podcast, or watching a video on money management topics. The key is consistency and choosing content that is practical and relevant to your current goals. This approach keeps learning fresh and manageable, making it easier to sustain over time. Daily education helps build clarity about concepts like budgeting, investing, debt management, and saving. Understanding these topics deepens your ability to create effective strategies that fit your situation. With knowledge comes the ability to evaluate options critically, avoid common mistakes, and seize opportunities that others might miss. This advantage grows as you accumulate insights and practical skills. When you engage with financial learning every day, you train your mind to think proactively about money. Instead of reacting emotionally to expenses or market fluctuations, you develop a rational perspective that guides calm and deliberate choices. This shift reduces anxiety and increases your resilience. The face of setbacks or unexpected expenses. Financial literacy becomes a source of strength rather than stress. Exposure to diverse financial ideas broadens your horizon and challenges limiting beliefs. Many people hold unconscious attitudes about money that restrict their success, such as thinking wealth is only for others, or that managing money is too complicated. Daily education introduces new ways of thinking, helping you replace scarcity mindsets with abundance and possibility. This mental evolution expands your potential and opens doors to new approaches and solutions. Regular learning also increases your motivation by highlighting success stories and practical tips from those who have achieved financial freedom. These examples inspire action and provide templates you can adapt to your journey. Seeing what others have accomplished reminds you that financial independence is attainable with persistence and knowledge. Daily financial education encourages you to take ownership of your financial future. It shifts responsibility firmly into your hands, making you less dependent on external advice or luck. You become the primary architect of your financial destiny, equipped with the tools and insight to build it thoughtfully. This empowerment fuels confidence and drives consistent effort toward your goals. Tracking what you learn each day can deepen the impact. Maintaining a journal or digital note of key takeaways helps reinforce concepts and creates a personalized resource you can revisit. Writing also sharpens understanding by translating ideas into your own words and reflecting on their relevance. This process turns passive consumption into active mastery. As your knowledge grows, it's important to apply what you learn immediately. Practical application cements lessons and demonstrates their value. For example, if you discover a new budgeting technique, implement it right away and observe the results. Testing strategies in real life develops your skills and uncovers what works best for your unique situation. Engaging with financial education daily also keeps you alert to changes in the economy, tax laws, or investment opportunities. Staying informed allows you to adapt quickly and protect your assets. This ongoing awareness prevents stagnation and keeps your financial plan aligned with current realities. Learning together with others can enhance your progress. Joining financial communities, discussion groups, or classes provides support, accountability, and diverse perspectives. Sharing experiences and challenges creates a sense of connection and reduces isolation in your financial journey. Collaborating also exposes you to new ideas and resources that you might not find alone. Avoiding information overload is crucial. The vast amount of financial content available can be overwhelming and distracting. Focusing on quality sources that align with your goals and values helps maintain clarity. It's better to master a few trusted resources than to skim many superficially. Prioritize depth over breadth to maximize understanding. A strong financial mindset built through daily education encourages patience. Wealth building takes time, and quick fixes are often risky or unsustainable. Learning reinforces the importance of steady progress, delayed gratification, and discipline. This perspective reduces frustration and supports long-term commitment even when results seem slow. This commitment to continuous learning also fosters adaptability. As your circumstances evolve, so do your financial needs and goals. Keeping your knowledge fresh enables you to adjust your strategies effectively, whether facing changes in income, family, or market conditions. An informed mindset equips you to respond thoughtfully and maintain stability. Daily financial education is an act of self-respect. It signals a dedication to caring for yourself and your future. This respect extends beyond money to other areas of life by promoting discipline, curiosity, and personal growth. Strengthening your mindset around money lays a foundation for confidence and calm that spills into all your decisions. In moments of doubt or difficulty, the knowledge you've built becomes a source of reassurance. Understanding financial principles helps you navigate challenges without panic or poor choices. This steady confidence supports resilience and persistence, key ingredients for lasting success. Developing this habit can be integrated into your daily routine in many ways. Reading before bed, listening to a podcast during commutes, or setting aside dedicated study time are simple methods. The important factor is consistency and a genuine desire to grow. Small daily actions accumulate, creating powerful momentum over time. The benefits of strengthening your financial mindset through daily education extend far beyond your bank account. It nurtures a mindset of responsibility, awareness, and empowerment that enriches your entire life. This foundation enables you to face uncertainty with calm, make informed choices, and build a life aligned with your values. Ultimately, committing to daily financial education transforms you from a passive observer to an active participant in your financial journey. You develop the wisdom, confidence, and resilience necessary to navigate the complexities of money with clarity and purpose. This daily practice is an investment in yourself that pays dividends throughout your life. Chapter 18. Build multiple income streams for long-term stability. Relying on a single source of income puts you at risk when unexpected changes happen. Building multiple income streams provides financial security and long-term stability by diversifying how money flows into your life. This strategy reduces dependence on one paycheck or business and creates opportunities to increase your overall earnings. The key to success is starting thoughtfully and growing your streams gradually to create a resilient financial foundation. Begin by evaluating your current skills, interests, and available time. Identify potential ways to generate additional income that align with your strengths and lifestyle. This alignment increases the likelihood of sustained effort and enjoyment. Some streams may require upfront investment of time or money, while others can start small and scale over time. One common approach is to create a side business related to your existing expertise. This could be freelancing, consulting, teaching, or selling products. By leveraging what you already know, you reduce the learning curve and tap into networks where your skills are valued. Starting small and testing your idea allows you to refine your approach without risking too much. Another income stream can come from investments that generate passive returns, such as dividends, interest, or rental income. While these usually require some initial capital, they grow over time and need less daily involvement. Understanding different investment options and their risk levels is crucial to make informed choices that fit your goals and risk tolerance. Digital platforms open many possibilities for earning online through blogging, affiliate marketing, creating online courses, or selling digital products. These opportunities often require consistent effort and content creation, but offer scalability and global reach. Patience and quality work are essential to build an audience and generate meaningful income. Consider monetizing hobbies or passions that bring joy. Turning a favorite pastime into a source of income can enhance motivation and balance. Whether it's photography, crafting, writing, or coaching, combining enjoyment with earning supports sustainability and personal fulfillment. Creating multiple streams requires careful time management to avoid burnout. Prioritize tasks and set realistic goals for each stream. Automate where possible, delegate tasks or outsource to free up your time. Balancing efforts ensures steady progress without sacrificing your well-being. Tracking and evaluating each income stream regularly helps identify what's working and what needs adjustment. Some streams may grow faster or become more profitable, while others might require more effort or be phased out. Flexibility and willingness to adapt maximize your returns and keep your portfolio strong. Diversification also means spreading your income sources across different sectors and platforms. Relying on similar industries or markets increases risk if those areas face downturns. Explore varied opportunities that complement each other and provide balance. Building multiple income streams supports long-term financial goals, such as saving for retirement, paying off debt, or funding education. Additional income accelerates these objectives and creates buffers for emergencies or unexpected expenses. This financial cushion increases peace of mind and reduces stress. This approach encourages an entrepreneurial mindset, fostering creativity, problem-solving, and resilience. Learning to juggle different projects and income sources develops valuable skills that enhance your overall career and financial literacy. Remember that building multiple income streams is a gradual process that requires patience and persistence. Instant success is rare, but steady effort leads to compounding benefits. Celebrate small wins along the way to maintain motivation and momentum. Avoid spreading yourself too thin by focusing on quality and scalability. Choose income streams with potential for growth and align with your long-term vision. Prioritize those that provide the best balance between effort and return. Stay informed about market trends and emerging opportunities. Economic shifts, technology, and consumer behavior constantly create new possibilities for income generation. Keeping a curious and open mindset helps you spot and seize these chances before others. Sharing your journey and learning from others who have successfully built multiple income streams can provide inspiration and practical guidance. Networking and mentorship offer valuable insights and support, making your path smoother and more effective. Building multiple income streams also encourages better financial planning and discipline. Managing diverse earnings requires budgeting, tracking, and tax planning. Developing these habits strengthens your overall financial management skills. As your streams grow, reinvesting profits wisely accelerates growth. Whether funding new projects, increasing investments, or improving skills, reinvestment compounds your efforts and expands opportunities. Diversified income creates flexibility in how you live and work. With multiple sources, you have more choices about how to allocate time and resources. This freedom supports a balanced life aligned with your values and priorities. In times of economic uncertainty or job loss, having multiple income streams provides a safety net. This stability allows you to navigate challenges without drastic lifestyle changes or financial hardship. Ultimately, building multiple income streams transforms your financial security and personal empowerment. It shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance and from dependence. This proactive approach puts you in control of your financial destiny. By steadily creating and nurturing various income sources, you build resilience against setbacks and open doors to new possibilities. This foundation of stability and growth supports a fulfilling life with freedom and confidence. The journey requires commitment, learning, and adaptability. Embracing this challenge develops strength and wisdom that extend beyond money into all areas of life. Building multiple income streams is one of the most effective ways to secure your financial future and create lasting peace of mind. It empowers you to shape a life of choice, stability, and opportunity by taking control of your earnings and your destiny. Chapter 19. Surround yourself with people who practice smart money habits. The company you keep profoundly influences your financial mindset and behaviors. Surrounding yourself with people who practice smart money habits creates an environment that supports growth, discipline, and wise decision-making. When your social circle values financial responsibility, you absorb their attitudes, learn from their experiences, and receive encouragement to stay on track. This influence often proves more powerful than any book or course because it shapes your daily choices and beliefs organically. People with strong money habits tend to talk openly about goals, budgeting, saving, and investing. Being part of these conversations normalizes positive financial behaviors and removes the stigma or discomfort many feel about discussing money. This openness encourages accountability and honest reflection, which are vital for personal growth. Listening to others' challenges and successes provides valuable lessons and practical ideas you can adapt. Interacting regularly with financially savvy individuals exposes you to diverse strategies and perspectives. You gain insights into different ways to increase income, reduce expenses, or grow wealth. This diversity expands your options and sparks creativity in managing your finances. Additionally, seeing others' successes builds confidence that similar achievements are possible for you. Smart money habits often include disciplined spending, thoughtful investing, and long-term planning. When you witness these behaviors firsthand, you internalize their value. The subtle but consistent reinforcement of good habits encourages you to mirror these actions in your own life. Over time, this alignment transforms your financial mindset and routines, leading to better outcomes. Conversely, being surrounded by people who struggle financially or have unhealthy money habits can create obstacles. Negative influences may encourage impulsive spending, neglect of savings, or resistance to budgeting. Breaking free from these patterns requires conscious effort and sometimes distancing yourself from toxic financial environments. Choosing your social circle carefully is a form of self-care and strategic growth. Building relationships with financially responsible individuals doesn't mean abandoning old friends, but rather expanding your network. Seek out communities, groups, or events focused on personal finance, entrepreneurship, or investing. Online forums and social media also provide platforms to connect with like-minded people regardless of location. This broader network enriches your support system and learning opportunities. Learning from mentors who demonstrate successful money management accelerates your development. Mentors provide guidance, accountability, and encouragement while sharing wisdom gained through experience. Their insights help you avoid common pitfalls and navigate challenges more effectively. Finding a mentor can be as simple as reaching out to someone whose financial habits you admire and asking for advice. Engaging in group discussions or study circles focused on financial topics deepens understanding and motivation. Collaborative learning encourages accountability and exposes you to questions or ideas you might not consider alone. Sharing your own experiences also reinforces your knowledge and builds confidence. These social learning experiences strengthen commitment and foster a sense of belonging. Surrounding yourself with financially responsible people supports emotional well-being. Money often triggers stress and anxiety, but being around calm, disciplined individuals can reduce these feelings. Their balanced approach to money offers reassurance that challenges are manageable and success is attainable. This emotional stability is crucial for making clear, rational financial decisions. Positive financial influences help you develop resilience in the face of setbacks. When others share how they overcame obstacles or recovered from mistakes, you gain perspective and hope. This collective wisdom empowers you to persevere rather than give up during difficult times. Knowing you're not alone creates a strong foundation for long-term success. Social influence also shapes your spending habits and lifestyle choices. If your peers prioritize saving, investing, and living within means, you are less likely to feel pressure to keep up with expensive or unnecessary trends. This reduces lifestyle inflation and encourages intentional spending aligned with your values. Aligning with these standards fosters financial freedom rather than debt or stress. Being part of a community that values money education encourages continuous learning. You are more likely to stay curious and proactive about improving your financial knowledge. This ongoing growth mindset keeps you adaptable and prepared for changes in your financial landscape. It also reinforces discipline and strategic thinking. Developing these relationships takes effort and intentionality. It involves seeking out opportunities to connect with people who share your financial aspirations and values. Attending workshops, joining clubs, or participating in online groups are practical steps. Volunteering or collaborating on financial projects can also create meaningful connections. Respectful and honest communication about money strengthens these relationships. Sharing your goals, challenges, and progress builds trust and mutual support. This openness deepens connections and fosters a collaborative environment where everyone benefits from shared experiences and encouragement. It is also important to contribute positively to your financial community, offering your insights, celebrating others' successes, and providing encouragement creates a reciprocal dynamic. Being an active participant enriches your own learning and builds strong, supportive networks that last. Surrounding yourself with people who practice smart money habits fundamentally changes your financial trajectory. It creates a culture of accountability, inspiration, and education that supports continuous improvement. This environment helps you overcome limiting beliefs and adopt empowering habits that lead to lasting wealth and freedom. By choosing your company wisely, you leverage social influence to reinforce your commitment to financial health. You become part of a movement toward responsible money management that benefits not only you but those around you. This collective strength amplifies your ability to achieve and sustain financial success. This approach also nurtures a mindset of abundance and possibility. Seeing others succeed demonstrates that financial goals are achievable with discipline and knowledge. This perspective replaces fear and scarcity with hope and determination. Ultimately, surrounding yourself with financially responsible people is an investment in your most valuable asset, yourself. It shapes your habits, beliefs, and choices in ways that no amount of isolated effort can match. This social foundation accelerates your journey to financial freedom and personal growth. Commit to cultivating relationships that elevate your financial mindset and practices. Seek out, engage with, and contribute to communities where smart money habits are the norm. This intentional connection is a cornerstone of sustainable wealth and empowerment. The people around you can either limit or expand your financial potential. Choose wisely to create an environment that supports your highest aspirations and deepest values. This deliberate choice sets you on a path of continuous learning, disciplined action, and lasting financial well-being. Chapter 20. Commit to improving your financial literacy every single day. Improving financial literacy every day is a commitment that transforms not only your money, but your entire life. This dedication begins with understanding that knowledge builds power. Each day you spend learning about money adds a layer of confidence and control that helps you make better decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Financial literacy is not about quick fixes or shortcuts. It's a lifelong journey that equips you to navigate complexities and seize opportunities with clarity. To make progress, approach learning as a daily habit rather than an occasional effort. Small, consistent actions accumulate into meaningful growth. Setting aside even 15 minutes a day to read, watch, or listen to financial education can lead to a profound shift over weeks and months. This regular exposure keeps money matters at the forefront of your mind and makes new concepts easier to grasp. Focusing on practical, actionable knowledge ensures your efforts translate into real change. Learn about budgeting methods that work, the basics of investing, ways to reduce debt, and strategies for increasing income. Understanding these core areas builds a solid foundation that empowers every financial decision. As your knowledge deepens, you can explore more complex topics with confidence and curiosity. Daily learning also helps you stay current with changes in the financial world. Laws, tax codes, investment products, and economic conditions evolve constantly. Being informed prevents surprises and allows you to adapt your plans proactively. This adaptability is essential for protecting and growing your wealth in an ever-changing environment. The process of improving financial literacy is interactive. Take notes, ask questions, and apply what you learn immediately. Testing concepts in real-life situations reinforces understanding and reveals what works best for your unique circumstances. This hands-on approach turns abstract ideas into useful tools. Engaging with diverse sources broadens your perspective. Books, podcasts, videos, articles, and courses each offer different styles and insights. Exploring various formats keeps learning fresh and helps you discover topics that resonate most. Curating a selection of trusted resources ensures quality and relevance, making your education efficient and effective. Financial literacy strengthens your mindset by replacing fear and confusion with clarity and confidence. As you gain knowledge, you reduce anxiety about money and develop a proactive attitude. This mental shift supports better habits, long-term planning, and the resilience needed to face setbacks. Incorporating learning into your routine also creates momentum. The satisfaction of mastering new concepts motivates continued effort. This positive feedback loop encourages a growth mindset that extends beyond finances to other areas of life. You become more open to challenges and committed to personal improvement. Accountability enhances progress. Sharing your goals and achievements with friends, family, or mentors creates support and encouragement. Joining financial communities or discussion groups provides opportunities to exchange ideas, ask questions, and learn collaboratively. These social connections enrich your journey and reduce isolation. Improving financial literacy daily is an act of self-respect and empowerment. It acknowledges your responsibility for your future and your right to understand and control your resources. This commitment strengthens your ability to advocate for yourself and make informed choices that align with your values and aspirations. Avoid rushing or trying to absorb too much at once. Focus on steady, manageable learning that fits your schedule and interests. Quality matters more than quantity. Deep comprehension of fundamental principles provides a strong base to build on over time. Recognize that financial literacy is a tool for freedom. The more you know, the more options you have to create security, opportunity, and peace of mind. This knowledge protects you from scams, bad advice, and impulsive decisions that can derail your progress. Continuous learning also encourages discipline. Understanding the consequences of financial actions makes it easier to resist temptations and stick to your plan. It helps you balance short-term desires with long-term goals, promoting patience and strategic thinking. Documenting your journey deepens impact. Keeping a journal of what you learn, your reflections, and how you apply new ideas creates a valuable personal resource. Reviewing this record reveals growth and highlights areas for further focus. As you build literacy, challenge yourself to teach others. Explaining concepts to friends or family reinforces your understanding and spreads positive habits. Teaching creates community and fosters a culture of financial responsibility that benefits everyone. Remember that financial literacy empowers you to live intentionally. It shifts your focus from surviving paycheck to paycheck toward building a meaningful life aligned with your values. With knowledge as your foundation, you make choices that support health, happiness, and freedom. Every day spent improving your financial literacy is an investment with lifelong returns. This commitment builds resilience, confidence, and wisdom that guide you through every stage of life. It enables you to face uncertainty with calm and purpose, and to seize opportunities that create lasting prosperity. Ultimately, dedicating yourself to daily financial education transforms how you interact with money. It nurtures a mindset of growth, responsibility, and empowerment. This continuous pursuit opens doors to a future defined not by financial stress, but by freedom and fulfillment. Choose to make financial literacy a priority every day. Embrace the journey with patience and curiosity. Let each new insight strengthen your foundation and propel you forward toward the life you deserve. This steady, intentional effort is the path to true financial mastery and lasting peace.